psychiatric nurse. And so I'll take this from the clinical side first, but then I'll also give some options for anybody who's not a specialist or trained in mental health. The counselor should be doing a crisis assessment, right? A suicide assessment, seeing if they have a plan, what is that plan? Digging deeper, asking questions. Really, the main thing you want to remember is that professional or that person who the adolescent has come out to. They need to be open and honest and set the stage for a inclusive and a safe space, not in a judgmental tone or any sort of those things. Some of the tools that family members or counselors or anybody, honestly, even myself, can use is QPR training, which is the question, persuade, and respond training. That is a suicide mental health first aid course or training that you can get. And basically what it helps you to do is just what I said, question, which is dig a little bit deeper, listen to the individual, or in this case, the teen who is coming to you at this really, really vulnerable time. Persuade them to not make any brash decisions. Tell them that this is a safe space, and there are options past how you are feeling right now and the feelings that you are feeling. And then respond, which means also outsourcing them to either clinicians or resources or services that could help them continue to go forth in this mental health journey. Also contacting parents, and if the individual is adamant about harming themselves in that moment, right? Or is adamant about harming themselves once they leave your presence, you do want to let somebody know, like the parent and other professionals that can help you handle that particular situation. Calling 988, wherever you are in the US, right now you will get hooked up to a crisis line, and in turn, they can help you maneuver through the steps that you need to take with that individual, with that teen. Also in the state of Maryland, because we are Maryland based, you can also use 211. And for any individual, adolescents, teenagers that need to talk to somebody, you don't always have to resort to 988. Maryland has made a crisis text line just for you. And if you text 211 with whatever your concern is, you'll be able to get in touch with some support. So hopefully that answers a good amount of your questions about the immediate. Hopefully that answers a good amount of your questions about what you can do in a really urgent situation when you're talking about a youth wanting to take their life.
This holistic hand series on crisis intervention and suicide prevention was brought to you by the Eudaimonia Project. Recipients of the Changemaker Challenge grant from the Community Foundation of Howard County, Horizon Foundation, United Way of Central Maryland, the Women's Giving Circle, and viewers like you. The Eudaimonia Project is honored to be a 2024 Changemaker Challenge winner in Howard County.
Imagine stepping into a therapy session, feeling unsure and overwhelmed. But what if you could walk in with confidence and a clear mind? At the Eudaimonia Project, we bridge the gap between uncertainty and empowerment, providing tools and guidance to help individuals make the most of their journey. Inspired by the challenges many face when seeking mental health support, we set out to create a space where preparation meets progress. We understand that the first step into therapy, it can be daunting. That's why we offer essential prep work through workshops, support groups, and educational resources. Our services are designed to empower you. From interactive workshops and support groups to comprehensive resources, we ensure that you're ready for every step of your therapeutic journey. Join us at the Eudaimonia Project. Together, we can transform uncertainty into confidence and make a lasting impact on your mental health journey. Let's bridge the gap to a brighter future.
Taking off my clinician hat, but knowing some of the experience and the training that I have, I would ask them, where are they? Make sure that they're safe. make sure that they don't have weapons or anything like that in their vicinity or in their hands. And I know they're going to be truthful with me. And I would tell them first to calm down and breathe, right? Not saying calm down and breathe, but I want you to breathe with me. I want you to let out a scream. I need you to do whatever you need to do in this short amount of time before I can get to you, if I can get to you, right? Or somebody that I love and that you trust can get to you before you make any decisions. And really having those like holistic approaches, that aspect of mindful breathing. Sometimes we'll do exercises such as box breathing, where you'll inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Those types of exercises will really, in the moment, help the individual calm down and really recenter themselves. And so that's what I would do for any loved one of mine before I can get to them.
This holistic hand series on crisis intervention and suicide prevention was brought to you by the Eudaimonia Project. Recipients of the Changemaker Challenge grant from the Community Foundation of Howard County, Horizon Foundation, United Way of Central Maryland, the Women's Giving Circle, and viewers like you. The Eudaimonia Project is honored to be a 2024 Changemaker Challenge winner in Howard County.
Imagine stepping into a therapy session, feeling unsure and overwhelmed. But what if you can walk in with confidence and a clear mind? At the Eudaimonia Project, we bridge the gap between uncertainty and empowerment, providing tools and guidance to help individuals make the most of their journey. Inspired by the challenges many face when seeking mental health support, we set out to create a space where preparation meets progress. We understand that the first step into therapy, it can be daunting. That's why we offer essential prep work through workshops, support groups, and educational resources. Our services are designed to empower you. From interactive workshops and support groups to comprehensive resources, we ensure that you're ready for every step of your therapeutic journey. Join us at the Eudaimonia Project. Together, we can transform uncertainty into confidence and make a lasting impact on your mental health journey. Let's bridge the gap to a brighter future.
So we're getting ready to do box breathing. What I want you to do is to close your eyes, right? Imagine either a really happy place or happy time, or you don't have to imagine anything at all. Just be in tune with your body and yourself, right? I want you to open your eyes and also look at me, because we're going to do this exercise together. And I want you to see the box that we're creating as you take in and exhale your breaths. Start from this side. When I go up, you're going to breathe in, hold it for 3 seconds, and then let it out. Breathe in again. Hold it for 3 seconds, let it out. And then we've created our first box, and that's box breathing.
This holistic hand series on crisis intervention and suicide prevention was brought to you by the Eudaimonia Project. Recipients of the Changemaker Challenge grant from the Community Foundation of Howard County, Horizon Foundation, United Way of Central Maryland, the Women's Giving Circle, and viewers like you. The Eudaimonia Project is honored to be a 2024 Changemaker Challenge winner in Howard County.
Imagine stepping into a therapy session, feeling unsure and overwhelmed. But what if you can walk in with confidence and a clear mind? At the Eudaimonia Project, we bridge the gap between uncertainty and empowerment, providing tools and guidance to help individuals make the most of their journey. Inspired by the challenges many face when seeking mental health support, we set out to create a space where preparation meets progress. We understand that the first step into therapy, it can be daunting. That's why we offer essential prep work through workshops, support groups, and educational resources. Our services are designed to empower you. From interactive workshops and support groups to comprehensive resources, we ensure that you're ready for every step of your therapeutic journey. Join us at the Eudaimonia Project. Together, we can transform uncertainty into confidence and make a lasting impact on your mental health journey. Let's bridge the gap to a brighter future.
So I'm never going to say that full-on replacements of Western medicine, I can't competently advise that as a practitioner to be. But what I can say is research shows that without medication assistance, a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy will do that work without you having to take medications. And so, especially for teenagers, there's research that shows that if they're linked up with a cognitive behavioral specialist, it could be a counselor, anybody that's licensed to do that therapy work, that they are at a 50% chance of not of successfully getting through that therapy and not making an attempt on their life. And so specifically in this case study, I would recommend resources first, one, to get to a clinician that can provide that cognitive behavioral therapy for them before you start exploring medication-assisted therapy. There is nothing wrong, though, with being able to both join medication-assisted therapy at the lowest dosage that's needed for the acuity of whatever the suicidality or depression is, with cognitive behavioral therapy, because that gives them an even better chance of coming out and maybe not even having to continue to take the medication, and then have some upkeep with cognitive behavioral therapy as well.
This holistic hand series on crisis intervention and suicide prevention was brought to you by the Eudaimonia Project. Recipients of the Changemaker Challenge grant from the Community Foundation of Howard County, Horizon Foundation, United Way of Central Maryland, the Women's Giving Circle, and viewers like you. The Eudaimonia Project is honored to be a 2024 Changemaker Challenge winner in Howard County.
Imagine stepping into a therapy session, feeling unsure and overwhelmed. But what if you can walk in with confidence and a clear mind? At the Eudaimonia Project, we bridge the gap between uncertainty and empowerment, providing tools and guidance to help individuals make the most of their journey. Inspired by the challenges many face when seeking mental health support, we set out to create a space where preparation meets progress. We understand that the first step into therapy, it can be daunting. That's why we offer essential prep work through workshops, support groups, and educational resources. Our services are designed to empower you. From interactive workshops and support groups to comprehensive resources, we ensure that you're ready for every step of your therapeutic journey. Join us at the Eudaimonia Project. Together, we can transform uncertainty into confidence and make a lasting impact on your mental health journey. Let's bridge the gap to a brighter future.
So cognitive behavioral therapy is one of the main therapeutic ways that we get people to change their minds and their reactions to negative situations. And so take for an example, you had a really horrible day at school, maybe you've been bullied or something just did not go your way. And you're thinking, hey, I don't belong in this world. I did something wrong. Something's wrong with me. I should just go and either make an attempt on my life, or I should run away or do something that would be really harmful and negative to you or others around you. What we're going to do in cognitive behavioral therapy is we're going to dissect, hey, why do I feel this way about myself even when negative situations happen? Problems will arise, but how we react to them and how our brain reacts to them is key. And so what any what any mental health provider is going to do, it's going to dissect, why do you think that way about yourself? Why do you think these things about yourself? And then in turn, why do you react in certain ways about the things that you think? We're going to change both the thought process and the reaction to it. So now you can say, hey, I had a really bad day, but that does not define me. Those kids may have bullied me at school, but I know that I can come home, or I have a really good thought process and backing behind myself where I know that I'm worth it. And I don't have to run away. I don't have to take my life. And I have the resources and tools, such as your therapist, such as your family, your parents, and your loved ones, to go to and get help.
This holistic hand series on crisis intervention and suicide prevention was brought to you by the Eudaimonia Project. Recipients of the Changemaker Challenge grant from the Community Foundation of Howard County, Horizon Foundation, United Way of Central Maryland, the Women's Giving Circle, and viewers like you. The Eudaimonia Project is honored to be a 2024 Changemaker Challenge winner in Howard County.
Imagine stepping into a therapy session, feeling unsure and overwhelmed. But what if you can walk in with confidence and a clear mind? At the Eudaimonia Project, we bridge the gap between uncertainty and empowerment, providing tools and guidance to help individuals make the most of their journey. Inspired by the challenges many face when seeking mental health support, we set out to create a space where preparation meets progress. We understand that the first step into therapy, it can be daunting. That's why we offer essential prep work through workshops, support groups, and educational resources. Our services are designed to empower you. From interactive workshops and support groups to comprehensive resources, we ensure that you're ready for every step of your therapeutic journey. Join us at the Eudaimonia Project. Together, we can transform uncertainty into confidence and make a lasting impact on your mental health journey. Let's bridge the gap to a brighter future.
Our holistic take on suicide awareness and prevention. And thank you for staying with me. My name is Sterling Wilmer. This is your nurse signing off, and I'll see you next time.
This holistic hand series on crisis intervention and suicide prevention was brought to you by the Eudaimonia Project. Recipients of the Changemaker Challenge grant from the Community Foundation of Howard County, Horizon Foundation, United Way of Central Maryland, the Women's Giving Circle, and viewers like you. The Eudaimonia Project is honored to be a 2024 Changemaker Challenge winner in Howard County.
So, cognitive behavioral therapy literally changes the wiring in your brain, right? On how you react, on how you think, and how you perceive the rest of the world. So many sicknesses and illnesses are linked to anxiety and depression, cardiovascular disease, and then lots of different mental illness diagnoses as well, body dysmorphia, the list goes on and on. When we start, especially at a young age, being able to reframe and react in an appropriate way, it's going to save you time in the long run. You're not feeling these anxious feelings. You're not feeling the physiological weight, your heart racing, right? You being sleepy or really tired and lethargic all the time. And so later on down the line, you won't have to combat as much cardiovascular disease. You won't have the levels of anxiety you do because you have reframed the way that you think and in turn react to your negative stimuli around you. And so that's really the benefit of cognitive behavioral therapy. First advice that I can give to anybody in crisis is, I know it's really hard right now, but don't make brash decisions, okay? There are some resources that maybe people might or might not know. I definitely would call 988. I definitely would call 988. I've been there. I've had a crisis situation where I've made 2 nooses and I was ready, right? And I ended up not continuing on with suicide because, one, I just had this insurmountable amount of tiredness come over me. But in that moment, I called a loved one and they picked up and they didn't even know what was going on. But they just talked to me and we just had a conversation and it was normal. Maybe you're not there. Maybe that's not you. Maybe you really actually need somebody to talk you off the ledge. And that is totally fine. If you want to call a friend and that's who you feel more comfortable with or a family member, good. But do not isolate yourself. Call someone. The new crisis mental health line is 988, and they're going to guide you through some of the same things that I'm getting ready to tell you now. I would say just close your eyes and breathe. Take a moment to breathe and be mindful. And when I say be mindful, listen to your breath. You can put your hand over your heart, listen to your heartbeat. And we have not quite learned any of the cognitive behavioral techniques, the self-affirmations yet, right? But I want you to just hold on in that moment, wait for somebody on the other side of that call to pick up, and then take it from there, okay? Just stop. If you are a loved one or a family member who is dealing with somebody who has a crisis situation, I definitely personally, again, would tell them to think about it, right? Stop, let me breathe with you. We went through some of the breathing techniques, the box breathing before, and then go into what I would call the QPR training, which is the question, persuade, and response. It's the suicide, basically CPR for suicide. And so going into questioning that person, being open and honest, and just being there to listen. You can find the root of the problem or sometimes the issues within the first 30 seconds. If the person is not opening up, just at least inquire if they feel safe. Do they have a plan? Can you tell me if you do have a plan? Can you promise me this? Even though they might not promise you, make that space open and inviting and as safe as you can. Persuade them to, hey, let's talk to somebody. I can talk to somebody with you or for you. And then go ahead and reach out to those individuals, whether it be going to the psychiatric ER, going to your primary or even your designated mental health provider, or calling 988, or in the case of Maryland, if you're a minor, 211.
This holistic hand series on crisis intervention and suicide prevention was brought to you by the Eudaimonia Project. Recipients of the Changemaker Challenge grant from the Community Foundation of Howard County, Horizon Foundation, United Way of Central Maryland, the Women's Giving Circle, and viewers like you. The Eudaimonia Project is honored to be a 2024 Changemaker Challenge winner in Howard County.
Imagine stepping into a therapy session, feeling unsure and overwhelmed. But what if you can walk in with confidence and a clear mind? At the Eudaimonia Project, we bridge the gap between uncertainty and empowerment, providing tools and guidance to help individuals make the most of their journey. Inspired by the challenges many face when seeking mental health support, we set out to create a space where preparation meets progress. We understand that the first step into therapy, it can be daunting. That's why we offer essential prep work through workshops, support groups, and educational resources. Our services are designed to empower you. From interactive workshops and support groups to comprehensive resources, we ensure that you're ready for every step of your therapeutic journey. Join us at the Eudaimonia Project. Together, we can transform uncertainty into confidence and make a lasting impact on your mental health journey. Let's bridge the gap to a brighter future.
Everybody is a little bit overwhelmed with mindfulness. Everyone says mindfulness, 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 right? And it actually can be a really, really helpful tool. It doesn't have to be anything deep. When I experience anything like negative thoughts, like, oh, I can't do this, I'm never going to achieve this goal, or I get really, really anxious, I literally just stop. I close my eyes, I take a deep breath, and I say, I am capable. And the feelings that I'm feeling right now, be it anxiety or fear, is because I have been conditioned to believe that I am not capable, but I am. No matter what happens, no matter the outcome, I know that I did my best and things will work out the way that they are supposed to. It has no bearing on my worth or what I could do in the future. There we go. And so I was very frustrated with my parents because they kept flipping it as how could you do this to us? How could you do this to the people that you love? And in that state of mind where it really is survival, it really is tunnel vision. It is fight or flight. I don't want to be here. This place, this earth is not safe to me. I want to leave. There's nothing that they could have said. There's nothing that they could have done in that moment to convince me that I belonged here on this earth. And so then pivoting it to them about how much it would hurt them and talking about them and me, it just felt selfish and I felt unsupported.
It's like more pressure
Yeah.
on top of like, all right, you know what? Now I got fuck it. I'm really about to go.
Because the problems that I was facing does not change. Whether you love me or not, whether you want to be here for me or not, whether you're going to miss me or not, the problems that I was facing and the experiences that I went through, they cannot be erased. They do not change. And so, and also a lot of times when people are very frustrated with their loved ones going through depressive episodes or even suicidal episodes, it's a brain chemistry thing as well. People are not understanding the true physiological sickness of some of the mental illness or mental health issues that people are experiencing. I had hypothyroidism that was diagnosed at 2019, but I had it for much longer. I had a thyroid they said of a 64-year-old when I was 24 and 25. And a lot of the physiological symptoms of hypothyroidism is lack of sleep or oversleeping, right? Depression, right? All of these different things that look and feel like depression and also suicidal ideation. Part of it really was the chemical imbalance in my body and my vitamins being off as well. In addition, I am a Black woman. We are so prone to vitamin D deficiencies. Vitamin D deficiencies can also affect your mood, low mood, depressive symptoms, that sort of thing. That's why you have people in Alaska, right, who don't get a lot of sunlight. They also have like weather-induced or seasonal-induced depression. It's a very real thing. And so I want people to think about all of the different ways and the different things that could be affecting this individual, and how they are feeling this low mood or the suicidal ideation. It literally may be a chemical imbalance or a physiological imbalance. Or again, it may be from some unworked through trauma. Either way, irregardless, you cannot center yourself in your loved one's crises. That's not helpful. It's not helpful at all, and it's going to cost lives. So I really encourage people to do QPR training. And at least if you don't do the training, find ways to not center yourself in your loved one's crises, because it's going to be all the better. And they're going to be feeling so much more open about the things that they're experiencing and coming to you to seek that help.
All right, real quick.
That my parents really stopped me from continuing on past further. I think as a psych nurse, I reflected on the experiences of my patients in inpatient hospital. And while I no longer work in that setting, my mom threatened to commit me. And I knew the system. I knew how it worked. I could most definitely easily weasel my way out of it because I knew the right things to say. One, that's the pro of being a psych nurse. But two, if they were able to see through the BS and they were going to commit me anyway, because she had evidence, she had the 2 nooses ready. And if they were going to commit me, I did not want that inpatient experience. And later on, after I got out of my depressive and suicidal episodes, after I went to treatment, all of those things, I thought about how being inpatient in a psychiatric facility deterred me from taking my own life. And why, as a psych nurse, is that so wrong? And so from that day, I dedicated myself. I said, I want community-centered mental health. And I don't like institutionalized mental health. I think that there is a time and a place and a reason for short acute stays in psychiatric hospitals, but I do believe that the Western world has a lot further to push as far as restorative care and mental health justice. And if I am a psych nurse and I'm saying I do not want to be committed into an inpatient facility from sheerly the way that I've been treated, and that right there deterred me from taking my own life, there's something wrong there. There's something wrong with the system. And so that is why I'm continuing to dedicate my life through Holistic Hands, through the community partnerships that I have, through Helping Hands AI. So people do not have to necessarily go into an institutionalized mental health system if they don't want to. They can go and look at ketamine treatment and holistic therapies and white noise therapies and float therapies, art therapies, exercise therapies. There's so many other different options to medication and being institutionalized. Again, acute, really acute, and highly acute, dangerous psychiatric episodes should go to a facility with the professionals where they can be treated. But as for some other of these issues and mental health issues, I think that we can do a much better way other than institutionalizing people to address said mental health care.
Wow. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to.
Imagine stepping into a therapy session, feeling unsure and overwhelmed. But what if you can walk in with confidence and a clear mind? At the Eudaimonia Project, we bridge the gap between uncertainty and empowerment, providing tools and guidance to help individuals make the most of their journey. Inspired by the challenges many face when seeking mental health support, we set out to create a space where preparation meets progress. We understand that the first step into therapy, it can be daunting. That's why we offer essential prep work through workshops, support groups, and educational resources. Our services are designed to empower you. From interactive workshops and support groups to comprehensive resources, we ensure that you're ready for every step of your therapeutic journey. Join us at the Eudaimonia Project. Together, we can transform uncertainty into confidence and make a lasting impact on your mental health journey. Let's bridge the gap to a brighter future.
It's a time and a place for self-reflection, right? But the self-reflection and what we would call in psych protective factors, which is your daughter, your job, your family, the things that you enjoy, all of that stuff, right? There is a time and a place to bring those things up and be reflective and say, okay, let's start looking at all the things that you have to look forward to. What do you still enjoy? What are some goals? What are some dreams that you have, right? But in that really immediate time of crises or in that span of months or however long where they're not receptive, the person is not receptive to being able to be effectively reflective, self-reflective, all it really is doing is more harm than good. And so that is why going to a clinician, a therapist, even a holistic practitioner, right? And getting guidance on when the appropriate time is to start intervening and doing the self-reflection, doing the cognitive behavioral therapy or cognitive behavioral restructuring, looking at the protective factors, and start building your resiliency list or the making goals and doing all that sort of work. It's really important to find a specialist to do that, and that specialist knowing when the right time is to start bringing these things up.
Yeah.
I would say the way that, and I would say like medical care and the medical system and our medical upkeep, right? Preventative care is not popular, but the way that you would get a checkup for your teeth, an annual checkup or a visit for your primary care, you need to do, I would say, times 10 for your mental health. You should have, if it's not a counselor, but you should have some type of therapist or some type of group or a therapy that you are going to at least monthly, whether it be art therapy, whether it be music therapy, whether it be talk therapy, right? Especially for parents, because this is a special about parents and kids and minors, you should be going to group therapy most definitely. I think being able to have somebody facilitate these conversations that you might not be able to talk about around the table and having a therapeutic, bipartisan mind in the middle of some of the situations going on in your household would be really, really helpful. And you now modeling the process in front of your kids saying, hey, mom and dad care about their mental health. Mom and dad care about the dynamic that we have with each other. Mom and dad care about, or whatever parent care about the dynamic that I have with you. And we have brought this specialist in that's going to help guide us through life, loss, all of these different things, and appropriately deal with our mental health as a family and as an individual. I think it's really, really important for parents to do that. And being somebody that has come from the Black community, I know there are a lot of communities like mine out there that it has been very taboo for people to model that. One, because that system has not created space for them, an opportunity to reach out and say, hey, my mental health is suffering. But now we are on a new day and a new dawn and a new age and a new time. And so I want to encourage everybody that no matter your, let's say, medium, right? You might be very much artistically inclined and you might not want to do talk therapy. That's totally fine. Take your child with you to art therapy. They have art therapy just for children or children and parents. It doesn't matter. Whatever your type of therapy or mental health intervention is, you need to model that in front of your child, and you need to do that for yourself. Because I know people say it a lot, it's cliche, but you're not as good for other people if you can't invest in yourself and invest in your mental health first.
Okay. Imagine stepping into a therapy session, feeling unsure and overwhelmed. But what if you can walk in with confidence and a clear mind? At the Eudaimonia Project, we bridge the gap between uncertainty and empowerment, providing tools and guidance to help individuals make the most of their journey. Inspired by the challenges many face when seeking mental health support, we set out to create a space where preparation meets progress. We understand that the first step into therapy, it can be daunting. That's why we offer essential prep work through workshops, support groups, and educational resources. Our services are designed to empower you. From interactive workshops and support groups to comprehensive resources, we ensure that you're ready for every step of your therapeutic journey. Join us at the Eudaimonia Project. Together, we can transform uncertainty into confidence and make a lasting impact on your mental health journey. Let's bridge the gap to a brighter future.
I want a lot of people to understand that those that are in situations such as suicidal ideation or thinking about taking their life, I want you to take what I'm saying with the utmost amount of love and respect. But to the loved ones or the ones that are concerned about the person, you have to take yourself away from it. You cannot center yourself in your loved ones or your family members' pain. Phrases like, but I love you. I think you're great. Why would you do this to me? This is very selfish. Centering yourself at your loved one's pain is doing it in detriment to your loved one's expense. And so while I know you mean well by expressing how much you love and you care for them, it comes across quite self-centered and a selfish act sometimes. Not all the times, but sometimes when there is a person in immediate crisis and you pivot to the reason why you want them to live or you want them to not harm yourself solely being about you. You have to come up with ways just to sit and listen as to what the problem is and not think reactively as to how can I convince them to stay here with me? Because at the end of the day, it's not solely about you. Right? It's about the things that they are going through. It's usually a whole culmination of things that are happening in their life. And you might be one of the problems, but irregardless, it's not just about you and your experience with this person who is going through something that is valid and very scary to you, but you have to take yourself out of it and you have to center that person as well.
This holistic hand series on crisis intervention and suicide prevention was brought to you by the Eudaimonia Project. Recipients of the Changemaker Challenge grant from the Community Foundation of Howard County, Horizon Foundation, United Way of Central Maryland, the Women's Giving Circle, and viewers like you. The Eudaimonia Project is honored to be a 2024 Changemaker Challenge winner in Howard County.
Imagine stepping into a therapy session, feeling unsure and overwhelmed. But what if you can walk in with confidence and a clear mind? At the Eudaimonia Project, we bridge the gap between uncertainty and empowerment, providing tools and guidance to help individuals make the most of their journey. Inspired by the challenges many face when seeking mental health support, we set out to create a space where preparation meets progress. We understand that the first step into therapy, it can be daunting. That's why we offer essential prep work through workshops, support groups, and educational resources. Our services are designed to empower you. From interactive workshops and support groups to comprehensive resources, we ensure that you're ready for every step of your therapeutic journey. Join us at the Eudaimonia Project. Together, we can transform uncertainty into confidence and make a lasting impact on your mental health journey. Let's bridge the gap to a brighter future.
Human beings are creatures of habit. And we can get into all the different theories, talking about the social cognitive learning theory, right? Those sorts of theories. But in the simplest terms, the human beings that you are raising, and even people just in regular life, they are looking to survive, and they are watching other human beings that have what they want, what they have, be it school or funds or whatever that they think that they need. They are watching other people. And that's being said, whatever you model in front of your child is what they are going to pick up, good and the bad and the gray area. And so modeling that you are prioritizing your mental health, that mental health is important, just like people prioritize religion and getting up and going to work and going to school, we can prioritize taking care of our mental health and our physical health as well. And so that is why it's really important for your child or others around you to see that you are doing what you say that you believe in and that you are doing, because in the long run, they are going to pick up on it. And it's going to be ingrained in them just by them observing.
This holistic hand series on crisis intervention and suicide prevention was brought to you by the Eudaimonia Project. Recipients of the Changemaker Challenge grant from the Community Foundation of Howard County, Horizon Foundation, United Way of Central Maryland, the Women's Giving Circle, and viewers like you. The Eudaimonia Project is honored to be a 2024 Changemaker Challenge winner in Howard County.
So I'm super excited because the audience has been talking. Okay, the streets been talking. And y'all know I love talking to the streets. I be like, how many the streets been talking, and authors are asking for help. Hey, I got this book I've been writing. I got the client, one of my clients, and I hope she makes it in. She was saying, I have a children's book and I have an adult book. How do I coexist with both parties? And you guys know I got raunchy and I have uplifting. All of my stuff is rooted in mental health, and I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. But it's being able to find that balance. So today, a journey through digital publishing, entertainment, building transmedia empire. So that's what we do at Envivo. So we're a transmedia storytelling business, and I'll tell you what that means as we go on. So let's just move along. So why you should be even listening to me, right? I'm a guy who, you heard of 12 Years a Slave. I was like, as a student, right? I had all of the book smarts, right? And I would apply it as I was getting it. So as I was going to school, I had no idea. First of all, I didn't want to go to college. I was kind of into college, right? And I was getting my associate's degree, and I did fashion, I did art, I did all these different things, and I had no idea what I really wanted to do. But I knew I was selling clothes. I knew that I had started a rap career at 15 years old.
You know what I mean? And I knew that I had this music ability, and I was in the industry at a very young age. So I saw that you needed products to go. You couldn't just be a rapper. You needed t-shirts, you needed CDs, you needed more than just music. And I'm like, oh man, I'm getting all this forward knowledge, watching all of these moguls transform their rap career into more. And I would always get compared with Will Smith. He didn't Will Smith. And I'm like, well, Will Smith ain't even rapping for real, for real. Got someone coming in. Hey, Natalie, welcome. And we're just going over my story a little bit. And some of what we just talked about earlier this week. Welcome. Will Smith was a rapper, but he wasn't even focusing on rap during my age of 15, 16. He had went on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So I'm like, they're comparing me with this guy, but he's not putting his energy in being a rapper. So I said, okay, I need to be paying closer attention. So since I'm forced to go to college, I might as well make it work. I got all those credits and was like, well, you can't graduate. Got a bunch of random credits. So I decided to focus more and get out of school. While I was doing my associate's program, now mind you, I graduated high school in 2010. While I was doing my associate's program at the University of the District of Columbia, whoop, whoop, shout out to my Firebirds. While I worked at this concierge job, right? I worked overnight as the, Mr. Butler guy, the guy who was getting boxes on K Street, K City Vista. Go down to K Street, you'll see it. I was the guy, not that kind of working on K Street, y'all, okay? No, I was concierge, and I would work at the front desk of these $500,000 condos, and oh my God, I'm like, yo, these people and me, some of the people that live there, I'm like, yo, what happened to my life? How is these, and it's like daddy paid for it and go to school, and I'm like struggling in school, yo, what? I said, well, I'm not going to let this bother me. But I was so inspired to get out of poverty. I said, I did not want to be living I didn't want to be the front desk. I wanted to be living at the top floor, and I'll that because what you desire, you'll get. And I end up manifesting that later on, but I'll talk about that later. Listen, so I published my first book in 2012. I have that book here with us, guys. And irony of the name, The Rules of a Successful Failure, I made every mistake possible in this book. One, how many of you guys, and you can put a 1 in the chat box if you are an author, just so I can know who's with us today. If you don't mind going in the comment box. If you're an author, if you have a book out, or if you published, it doesn't have to be a book. Okay, we got 2 authors, and if you published anything, audio, video, that is publishing. So we're talking about publishing. I know I'm talking about books, but we're talking about publishing today, guys. The industry of publishing. Okay, so everybody in here published. So one of the things if you publish, editing. Now I'm an eager beaver, and I was just like, I'm tired of waiting for this girl to give me my book back. Like I gave him the edit, and when you always good. Free takes forever. You know what I'm saying? Free phone note, like whatever. We're gonna make up into a thing. Put that on a t-shirt. If you listen, I was impulsive. Like, yo, I wrote this book. You need to come on. So I rushed it. I put the book out. So you see, this book is huge, right? It's a big ass compared to these little books behind me. This book is huge. I wasn't paying attention to the clicking of the buttons. I was just click, 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 nothing gonna stop me. No editor, no nothing. And y'all, I didn't spill milk because I didn't know that it wasn't edited yet. I knew it wasn't, but I didn't know, when you write, it's like whatever. But the book, I said, I'm gonna still sell it even if it was big. The lady is reading the book, and there's some big letters in this book, y'all. She reading the book. She like, and I'm wrong, but already got her money. And I'm like, oh God, every piece of syndrome, fear. Hold on, I got somebody trying to come in. I'm sorry. Every bit of everything was going through my body as she was reading that book. Why would you read the book right in front of me? And big homie Jeffrey Banks just joined. I don't think he's purchased any of these purchased books, but I know that he's a grammar police. And he would tell you, he'll go on your Facebook and say, that ain't right. You need to fix that. But I didn't wait for my grammar. And I rushed the book out. And the book had all types of edits and issues in it. It was stuff that was so small that if I would have just asked somebody for help, or if I was a little more patient, that it would have been a different story. Bad news traveled from diseases in the 80s, right? So we're going to go to the next slide, right? So that's when, thank you. I appreciate the laugh. Thank you. I try my best, I be panhandling. Those who know, I founded it because I wanted to help authors and help people get their stuff out. One of the things that I learned is you got to make money. You found this out the hard way because I was a student for 12 years. Remember, I was a student for 12 years. I'm talking, as soon as I learned about financial aid, I was living off of financial aid. Like, talk about, I owe so much long debt. You see why I'm out here working so hard, okay? I'm on the field in a different way. But yes, I found Vivo Exposure because I realized I'm not going to be the only person that had to struggle like this. I know other people. My mom wanted to put out a book, and I'm like, Mom, you know how hard it is to do that? I didn't want to do that for nobody. At first, I didn't want to help nobody because I was like, yo, this is so much work. I make so many, why you want my help? She wanted me to help her. I was scared to help her. Since then, I've put over 50 books of my own out, right? Since 2012, and a bunch of fun ideas, things that, how you just, something pop in your head, and you like, so it took me years to get to the point where I can just with what it is these days, right? But in the past, like, I would have to hire writers. I would have to hire a writing team just to sit in the room and bounce ideas off, right? And it's a lot of work. But being able to work with people, one of my who is in the chat, she just put out her own book on her own. I'm so proud of her because I call her like one of my favorite students. That's Tiffany. I heard the right. And she went and and she got it done. Like she took the she called herself a storyteller. She is. She like story. I said, look, I'm gonna give you guys the formula, right? This to get your ideas out. First, whatever the idea is, you write the name of the idea down. And then you write down the different things that you want to talk about. Like you rant, like I gotta talk about, and Cousin Sue was a lying asshole. Like you gotta put those that you can't miss, you put those things down right under that header, right under that name of that book idea or concept, right? Those meat and potato things that make your bone cringe and you gotta get it out, those are the things that you want to make as your little lines. And I'll tell you what to do with those lines. You make those into chapters or headers and things like that. But I'm gonna get back into this. That's just one gem. Don't say I never give you nothing. I got to work with a dear friend, Brandon T. Jackson, and I helped him publish his first book. And now, if y'all know Hollywood actors, y'all know that they are always doing something, right? But the problem is when you doing things for other people, right? If you acting in movies for other people, you're not necessarily the owner of that intellectual property, right? So you guys heard about Taraji P. Henson and everything that she was going through with Power and feeling like she didn't capitalize off of her career when she was doing these things. The problem wasn't that, I'm not speculating, this is just film business. The problem wasn't that she didn't get the publicity that was promised. She may have got paid low at the time, but the money that goes into films is marketing dollars. Now, you guys ask me, how do you get your stuff seen? Advertisement. Don't say I didn't tell you. So marketing dollars to making the movie the blockbuster that you see. Making the hype, everything that you got media earned and media paid. When people ask you to come on and when you pay to go on. But you got to spend some money, right? So the problem is they spending money for marketing. Right? She learned the habit of spend money for marketing. A lot of times marketing people do take advantage of people, right? That is very true. But what you need to focus on is your 100%. Now, this is the second gem I'm going to give you. I gave a little sprinkles of some nuggets, but this is the second gem I'm going to give you today, and that's getting your 100%. So me and Brandon, we've been in the trenches together. A lot of y'all don't know the prophecy, but there was a pastor who told me I was going to meet him 15, 16 years ago. It went to my head, but it never happened until I was grown and learned how to handle my own. So God is like, He not going, if God prophesies something to you, you still got to do the work. Long story short, I helped him publish his first book. And then we turned it into a series based off the second book. You're like, well, why is he saying this? Why he name dropping? What is this all about? What does this got to do with me making some money, right? So the issue is a lot of times people have products for other people, but not for themselves. You have to create your 100%. So that his movie just dropped, Trap City, is available now in theaters. You can go see it. If you're in my area, it's in Owen Mills. Make sure y'all go see my boy's movie, Trap City, Young Jeezy, Clifton Powell, and some more people. The point that I'm making is now that he has the marketing dollars, I'm in theaters, you can see me. His book is his 100%. Of course, I get my 5%, not a lot, but I did my job. His book is percent, meaning when people say, let me see what, like, they go see what this book is about. That's all him. He don't got to pay no record label. He don't got to pay no industry exec. He don't got to pay no managers. He don't got to pay. So are you seeing what I'm saying, right? When you're out there and someone else is marketing for you to be out there, people who put you on their platform. If you come work for me, Big Homie just did some stuff for us on network, right? Now, whatever we send that content, his face, his books, his artistry will be seen all over. Arnita's in the building. We got our deal. Boom, her publishing gets seen in 17 different platforms because we have these different mediums of seeing you. We put these things in place. We put the Audio Healing Mission podcast in place to promote the Audio Healing Mission audio. Also promotes the Audio Healing Mission books. And I'm going to get into that later. But I'm saying series, bundling up. And I'll get into the third gem. Gem number 3, quiet. Tell your kids to be quiet. Turn the dog down. The third gem is you are the product. You are the main, you that first line that I told you about a second ago. You're that first line. Emmanuel Sims, this guy, my book looked like a mixtape cover. This guy created Overtime Sims. What this book is about, learning about my rap career. I had a very fast rap career. Oh, wow. I was in undergrad. I was a member of Pi Sigma Alpha, the Political Science Honor Society. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't even know that was in there. But my mom wearing at one of my shows, they say live fast, die young. That's the biggest BS. You live fast and you can live forever. Sophia Stewart, mentioned her to you, Natalie, in the when we were on our meeting. Sophia, mother of the Matrix, right? She was just in an interview, but she always says this when we're on the phone. All movies are derived from books. Right? What am I saying to you? When you put out books first, somebody already adapted this into a movie. It's called Overtime. It's already a screenplay written for this book because I had the blueprint. You want to have your IP. I keep saying IP, intellectual property, right? You need to have your IP. And just for those who are questioning, once you create something, it is immediately copywritten. You want to go register it with the copyright people, but it is immediately copywritten when you create it, right? It's just when you hit save and it's done. Go market, go whatever you got to do, but for extra protection. But once it's created, it's protected. That might be gem number 4, depending on where you at in your publishing career. But Emmanuel Sims is that above the line mark, right? I want you to know about my rap career. Then I want you to know about Not that's more comedy than anything. I want you to know about my innovate to elevate, right? How I took literally growing up inner city, no father, mother always working. I was raised by a kid that was 3 years older than me, my big brother. I learned social skills from my sister. You probably wonder why I talk so much. That's not like a sexist thing. I literally learned my social skills from my sister. That's a real thing. She talk a lot too. So not like a women talk, just saying, if you don't cancel me before I get started. So why books should come first is you are creating that initial blueprint. Before The Matrix, before Terminator, before Star Wars, there was what book? Can somebody tell me in the chat? Before there was all of those movies, do y'all know, thank you Arnita, do y'all know what was the first book that inspired Matrix, Star Wars, and Terminators? Do y'all know which book? Come on, y'all, let's get involved with me today. I'm going to wait till one person say it. Do y'all know which? It's going to blow your mind. And all y'all, it's Sunday, and all y'all church folks in here, y'all should know which inspired these movies, right? I'm going to wait. There you go. The Bible. I know I gave y'all a hint, but that was it. The Bible inspired Star Wars. George Lucas talked about it. Sophia Stewart openly talks about how the Bible inspired The Matrix and all of those things. It's important to establish your intellectual property. Once you create it, it is copywritten. Yes, you can go register it and have it copywritten some more, right? Gem number 5, nothing beats a publishing date. Publish your stuff. This book did not end here, Hunty. What they say, Hunty? This book did not end here. It didn't. If you go on Amazon right now, you type in Emmanuel Sims, The Rules of a Successful Failure. I'm not trying to sell you anything, so I won't pull it up. But the book has been remastered. It has been resized, been recovered, redesigned to fit the new day and age that it is now.
because you can always remaster, recreate. And I'm giving you permission if you need somebody to say it. If you put your book out, you're like, oh, I want to go add this. Put out a volume 2. Put out a second edition. Put out a third edition. Put out a fourth edition. Put out 1 poem. Put out 2 poems. Put out 1 audio. Put out 7 audio. Put out a bundle of all of your audio. Now that we got that established, children. No, I'm just kidding. I know y'all, I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just trying. I used to be a teacher. All right. Transmedia storytelling is telling your story on different mediums. It's, again, Emmanuel Sims is that main bracket, right? And everything else is those moments that I felt my divorce. Oh my God, you want to know about that? Overtime Sims talks about my divorce so vividly. You want to know why my marriage didn't work? Listen to Overtime Sims in the 2000s. Promise you. You want to know why I'm happy now? Read Life Mastery. Because I've learned to master gratitude. I've learned to forgive and forget. I've learned to realize that, me and Tiffany had this conversation, a lot of people are responding off of their trauma. We walk through day to day responding to life off of our trauma. Even if you don't mean to, it happens. It is what it is. When this ain't therapy. So I already talked about that, so let me jump through that. Common mistakes, again, that I made in this book was sizing, error, grammar, production details. I didn't pay attention to the important stuff. Yes, creating the art is fun, but we must pay attention to the details. And I know Big Homie, we about to create a t-shirt that say, I read your stuff. I know you need to hire me for it. So if you ever need an editor, you need someone to help you edit your books, he is the grammar police you want to hire. And I know sometimes that get annoying, right? But y'all, listen to me. People who are OCD about certain things, that's their superpower. You need to put them in position to use their superpower. Don't be mad, oh, they critiquing my stuff. No. Hey, oh, shit. Good, big bro. Good look. And go fix that. Because these failures are what lead to success. If people wasn't nitpicking, if she wouldn't have found, she was reading my book, y'all, on page 1. Oh, my God. Listen, on page 1. I've been in the local ad since I was 16. By the time I turned 18, I signed to a minor label and was recording with hip-hop legend Curtis Blow. At the time, I was young and immature. Naive, I put the N-A with the double-I-V-E to everything that was around me. It felt so good to be living a dream. Before I signed the new phase, and there's no commas, there's no breathing points. It's just like a nigga talk. And I would sit there as a concierge, and I would write this book. Like, just saying it as I was thinking, nobody had taught me how to write a book. I didn't go to book writing school. Guys, I'm going to just tell you the truth. I did not go to book writing school. I'm a fraud. I did not learn how to do this in a classroom. I learned everything else but that. So I'm telling you this to say, my guy, my girl, my love, all of you, listen, it don't got to be perfect. Fail on purpose, right? That's what you do on purpose. You know what I'm saying? So let's get back into it. Breaking it down into different departments. That's what silos are. Silos are them little things in the forest and the farm, the little white things, and it's like one way out. There's no multi-door type of thing on a silo. So sometimes it gets overwhelming. I gotta write it, I gotta get a cover, I gotta get all of these different things. Break them down into compartments to where it's feeding that one need and then move on to the next step. I hope that helped. Connecting different media formats, as in, again, we've talked about this, ranted a little bit. I ran through the whole thing a little bit, but I'm gonna just still follow through. Books, audio, digital courses. So since we have some of y'all in here today, who am I gonna pick on? I'm gonna pick on Tiffany, right? So Tiffany has Growing in Grace, right? In her book, she added a journal in the back of it, right? Why is that important? It's important because now people can interact with her book. That's a selling point, right? So if Tiffany was to go and read her own audiobook, which I know she is, right? Because she just read the audiobook to this book right here, right? Which is in this series of these two books right there. They're all in the narrative mind of Emmanuel Sims. So let's say you have a really bad story that you don't want to let people know is you. She was like, I still want my original story by credit. I said, I respect it. These people didn't want their names and identity out there, right? But we can still help tell your story without harming anybody or putting people, you know, who's still out here working at CVS at risk and stuff like that. But then if she wanted to take it to the next level and create a digital course where she's teaching young sisters on video, like this video right here is going to be for sale. You guys are watching it live, but it's going to be for sale. You guys got it for free because you believed in me, you believe in yourself, and you can get first dibs on. I'm going to chop this part out, of course, right? But they'll be paying for this course,
right? And that's the way to take it to the next level. I'm still teaching you guys the same thing, how to publish your book, how to get your story out, because God put me on this earth to be an example. Some of you have heard my prophecy about being the light. He's just using me to pass the message on. So let's keep moving forward. I want to be respectful of you guys' time. And I'm grateful that you guys chose to be with me today. Creating a cohesive brand message. So what does that mean? It means that my digital product does this to help people do this because of this. My digital products teaches authors how to make an additional income so that they can live the life that they want, because they deserve a good quality life, right? So my point is, I found out how to make a lot of money off books, and I'll give you a quick formula. Call it gem number 5 or 6, whatever we at, right? On Amazon, and this is just for us, don't be out here giving out no trade secrets. I really like y'all. On Amazon, it may cost a couple of dollars to actually produce the physical copy of the book. So let's just say $5, right? You can say I want to get 100 books. So let's just say you're going to spend $500. Ultimate Lewis, she is not in here, but we did this with her book. She bought 100 books from Amazon. The way she was able to make all of her money back, how many books, comment in the chat, if she spent $500 for 100 books, how many books did she have to sell to make her money back? You just do, the cost of her book is $20. Just a little, I hate that we don't teachers give you those math problems, but forget the main portion. So at $20 a book, if she paid she got 100 copies for $500. Just put the $500 to the side. If she wanted to make her $500 back to break even, if she sold her books for $20, how many books does she need to sell to make $500? Somebody help me out. 25 books. Is that correct? 25 times 20 is 500. So we got it verified. That was so what I'm saying is, a quarter of your books make your money back. You broke even. If you can sell 25 books, you can sell 25 more. I'm going to just tell you straight up. I don't care how scared it might sound. You can sell 25 books. You can sell 25 more. I'll tell you how. Let's get back into the slideshow. Listen, platform-specific approaches. People will buy your book sometimes in person, and they'll buy it online. But when you have physical books in person, and they may be shy, they don't want to walk up to you, they'll buy it online. But you say, I don't know nobody that's going to see me with my book. Exactly. So cross-promotion techniques. So what did we do? We can use it. Let's do a case study. Tiffany Stepney, the cost of the book, $5K in a second. God, dang, girl. But look, so I'm going to tell you how to sell these products. That's what we're about to get at. God, because you've invested in your stuff. But I see you. Shouts out to her. Check her out. And we need to know some of your secrets. Listen, cross-promotion techniques, right? So I'm going to use Tiffany as a case study. We started off with the book. Then we did a documentary. It's an hour and some change. We took her documentary, and once we shot it and edited it, and if you need me for video services, this is a selling point. But we took her documentary and we released it where people can see it, right? And people came to see it. They paid $25 a ticket, right? We had some light hors d'oeuvres, some light snacks, and people came to see the event. They cried, they boo-hooed, they had a little kumbaya at the end, because healing. A lot of people suffer from addiction. You will be surprised how many people have suffered from addiction, dealt with somebody with an addiction. It's so crazy, right? No, but our whole point is healing, so we know that that's a thing. So we created a space for healing. She only had 10 books at the time, right? She sold all the books, $20 a pop. She had 30 people to show up at $25 a ticket. You think anybody gonna show up because you ain't asked them to show up. You ain't asked them. You ain't put this, what they say, if you build it, they come. But that's cross promotion over just one thing, just her one story, one relationship. Thank God this got messed up so everybody out there in the future can find her, right? One relationship brought in over $1,000 worth of income because she was able to take it to the next level. We got somebody, is that a comment or somebody trying to come in? Yes. But so now there's an audio book. There's a hardback. There's multiple ways so that people can purchase the story. So at the event, we go back to building. It wasn't about the money, just FYI, but you got to pay for facilities. If y'all ever tried to do something, stuff costs. So we know that it's not about money. It's about building authentic connections. They could have saw the documentary and was like, what the hell? But they saw the documentary and wanted more. They wanted more. Exactly, big homie. So you got to be able to give them enough to want more. So I know that there's a lot of people out here with digital products. I know that Natalie has the cards. You know what I'm saying? You have these different products. And it's like, how can I cross promote? How can I get all of y'all women and men in here today at an author event? How about this? I'll schedule it. You guys don't have to pay a vendor fee. Bring your products and I'll create the marketing plan for us to get it out. Everybody just got to follow the marketing plan. I have to give respect and kudos where respect is due, because she was probably the least resistant person that I've worked with, when it was like, okay, whatever you need. Probably not the least, but we did a lot of projects. But she followed directions. She took, here, post this. This is what you need. She scheduled the post. You can ask her. She did the work. It takes a little bit. She said to me, this is a job. I said, duh, that's what I keep trying to tell you. But when you do the work, I'm not saying nobody, I know we all doing our efforts. Don't misunderstand me. Sometimes we need a different technique. But if I give you the technique and you don't do it, it's not me. She took the technique and it worked. That's the only reason why I feel confident to be over here telling y'all, look, I was telling her, I said, look, I need more practice. I got the sauce, just like you got the sauce. Sometimes you need a little more confidence, and that's what in vivo exposure is, dripping into your fears slowly until I was anxious as hell before I got on here with y'all. Just to be transparent, I got on a body shaper and this shirt from Kufani, and I'll post the link, guys. If you guys are looking for some new merchandise or something to wear for the holidays, oh my God, they hooked my closet up for the holidays, y'all. So if you're looking for something nice, and that's another thing, I cross-platform with Amazon. I had Big Homie on the show, and now Amazon sending me clothes. I wear the same thing if you follow me long enough. I don't have no money. I mean, I do, but my stuff go back into this stuff because I'm trying to leave a legacy for my children. And I'm going to get on balance in multiple projects. Because it may seem like, oh, you do a lot. No. Tiffany, no, I just sent her 3 books to format for me. I need help. I got books sitting on that and Wazoo. They done. It takes a format. You need a formula. You need a system. You need it. First thing, I come up with the name of the book. Second thing, I outline the book. Third thing, I write the book. Fourth thing, I go get a cover. You know what I'm saying? You need a check off list. And I'm providing that for you guys today. Yes. So I'm going to post that. I'm going to post one of these in the jank. I have some stuff for you guys today that I'm going to give you. Oh, snap. Hold on. Somebody trying to get in wants to join the call. Hold on. Hey, thank you. You missed a lot of good gems, but we recorded this. Don't worry. I got you. So this was, guys, the author that just came in. Shouts out to her, because this is where I felt I wanted to give more to my community. And she was like, look, I got these 2. She got a children's book, and I'm going to use it as a case study, and an adult book. And it's like, how do I manage these 2 projects, right? And I'm going to let you get this video when we're done. But balancing multiple projects, you came in right on time. God bless you. I was telling them it's having a system, right? So some of these books been written, but they was just sitting because when a person purchases a book, they're used to a certain aesthetic. They're used to a table of content. They're used to about the author. They're used to dedications. They're used to acknowledgement. And I'll get you guys a blueprint. I'll get you I'll get you guys a zip file. Matter of fact, I'll just make a whole Google Drive folder with all of the templates so that you can be ready and you can just put your book right into the templates. You gotta do the work, right? Once you get the product done, it's more than just getting it done. So I always call myself the first and last baton. I can get it started and I can finish it, right? But you gotta do the stuff in between. So I'm gonna pass you the baton. Market, first thing you need to do is put each product in a different category. And with system, you say, okay, life mastery. You go on Amazon, and if it's okay with you guys, I'm gonna go on my Amazon and walk you guys through Amazon's so that you can understand how it works, just so that you guys aren't like, what is he talking about? So a lot of you guys are already published. So when you have your book, right, let's pull it up. Let's go to share, present, something else. It's Katie. There you go. Okay, might be the wrong thing. Hold on. My bad, I'm sharing the wrong numbers, y'all. So when I get that up, because I got the wrong tab open, but what I want you to see is taking each product and treating it with respect, essentially. So if you have a children's book, have a campaign specifically for that book. Okay, here we go. So these are the different books that we got on there, right? you want to go to this marketing tab right there at the top. You want to click on marketing. So in order to capitalize off Amazon's marketing points, and do this with me if you need to, but we'll just watch, right? The first thing you got to do is enroll your book in the KDP Select. So this book right here, Innovate to Elevate. I set it there on purpose because I wanted to do this with you. So I'm going to hit continue, right? So now my book, if you read, it says, please confirm that you want to enroll your book. This confirming this, your KDP will be enrolled in KDP and available for digital format and other format during this enrollment. KDP, you can read, make sure you read the terms and conditions. I've read them a billion times, right? Because I got to read them to people sometimes, right? Because some people have disabilities and we got to do that. So once it's enrolled, right, in KDP Select, and this is more so for those adult books, novels, whatever. It also works for kids' book, but once it's in there, right, you can do two things this Christmas. I want to give you some practical stuff you can do right now. So you can either do a Kindle countdown deal where it creates a time-based promotion where the price is like dropping, right? Or you can do a free deal. Now, I've watched one of the authors who's in our competition do this, Icarus. He made his books free so that he can get sales. Now, sale counts as any order. I say that even if they get it for Kindle Direct and it's free, it counts when they start turning the pages, right? So we're going to go and create a free book promotion, right? So it says choose when the promotion will start and end based off of midday Pacific time. Make sure you pay attention to that, guys. That is so important. And make sure that you communicate that with your audience. And I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to start tomorrow. Now, this is the second book that I have going on promotion for tomorrow because, frankly, I'm on this letterboard and I'm losing. I'm the house supposed to win. Look, y'all, I'm losing. They dogging me. Look, Ultimate, Icarus, look at Tiffany in third. They tied up. And that's based off book sales. I don't like to lose. So I got two of my books going on promotion because I don't like to lose. So boom, save changes, saving promotion. So most of us are African American or African indigenous descent. So we learn best through person to person. That's our axiology. So this is science. I'm telling you, you got no excuse. I love you. I just playing, but no, for real. Pick one of the books. I know you got a couple of books. Boom, free book promotion. Take that, right? Command C. I'm gonna copy that, and I'm gonna go to ChatGPT, right? If you go on ChatGPT and you search for page turner, right? You should be able to find this thing right here, and I can share this with y'all. If you post this in here, right? But you gotta make sure you put the name of the book. Don't just be like, I'm saying, out here, just like, give me this, and then you put the name of the book. So which book was that we did that on? Innovate. So let me go pull up the link to that. Give me a second. Thank you for your patience. So Innovate to Elevate, right? So what I'm doing is, you can't see me because I have so much work to go from tab to tab. I'm going on Amazon, and I'm taking the description. I went from the top of the page to the bottom of the page, and then boom, right? Y'all can't say Emmanuel ain't at least try to give you a free promo. Because then you do this, it aligns with whatever you put into Amazon page. I coded this. So first of all, if y'all don't know what I do for a living, right? I work for different AI companies where we help make sure the AI is smart. So when it comes to AI, I know what I'm talking about, right? So just do what I told you verbatim, right? And then you go to Facebook and you post it. And a lot of y'all who are my friends on Facebook, this is going to pop up on your timeline in the next couple of seconds. You know what I mean? And I'm sharing this with you because it only takes a couple of seconds to promote yourself, right? And that is what it's going to take if you want to make some money selling books. Let's get back to the presentation. You're going to have to go the extra mile and promote yourself in a very creative way. So take a couple of these techniques and run with them because you got to understand the audience are different. Each one of you might like reading your books differently. If y'all want, real quick, I know y'all, I'm making y'all work. In the comments, put how you prefer to read your book. Do you prefer audiobook? Do you prefer it in your hand, right? Do you prefer a hard, physical, thick back? Do you prefer the Kindle because you can swipe? What do you prefer to read your books? And let's just see. And I'm not, this is Kindle. Somebody said Kindle. Now let's see. Do everybody even got a Kindle, right? How do you prefer to read your books, right? And I like that one person said Kindle because who want to barter? Books and audio. Cool, audio and physical. Exactly. So if you know that you prefer to listen or read your book differently, understand that the people that's buying your books, they do too. So each customer is different. Now, I respect that about my customer. I respect that all of y'all are different and that some of y'all looking at the clock say, he got 18 minutes. He better come on. I'm on slide 23. We doing good, though. I feel like I dropped a lot of gems. But my point is, and some of y'all are like, oh, why he muted? I want to talk. Everybody got different feelings. You want to be able to try to cater to all of these different people. And it's a lot of work, but you can do it. You can tell ChatGPT, cater this for... Y'all want to do it with me? Y'all want me to do it with y'all? Let's just do it together. I'll come back to this slide. I'm going to show you. Because I really want y'all to win. Y'all my tribe. Point blank, period. And I don't care. Okay. I like to talk to the computer. Cater this towards an audience of physical, Kindle, audio, and paperback. Each make me 4 different posts that align with those different mediums. Boom. So a couple of seconds. And Paige is going to go ahead and write you post number 1. Boom. This one. What's your favorite spark? And but look, they're catered to different. This one, books in your hand. That's the keyword, in your hand. The other one is digital. So they gave me 4 for each. So this one is a digital one. So innovate, elevate with the cell phone emoji. You understand? Like the audio with the headphone emoji. It caters it towards the audience. So I want you to be aware of your audience. I want you to be aware that some people have, I'm on the autistic spectrum, neurodivergent. So my eyes see things differently. And making sure that you're able to talk to people in that, right? So my time management tips is, I know I'm rambling, but I want to make sure I meet my time management tips is write out what you want to get done by that time. And I'm a former career coach, so yes, goals, right? Know what SMART goals is in the audience. It's measurable, attainable, and then time. I forgot what R. I always get R messed up. Basically, you treat it like your child, right? If you got children or nieces or nephew, right? If you wouldn't leave your kid in a mall by itself, don't leave your book on the shelf by itself. Assume that when you walk away from your book too long, that your book is in danger. Assume, for the parents, when you don't hear nothing, run around that corner. When you're not selling, run around that corner. What am I doing? Maybe I need to post more. Maybe I need to. Gem number 7, ask for the sale. I was number 1 in the sales district when I worked at Sprint. Number 1, because I had no problem with asking people who was coming in there to pay their cell phone bill, hey, you don't need another case for your phone? I know y'all want this book because you want to make sure some of y'all 1971 babies, I need to make sure that you don't get caught into the sugar mama trap. You need to make sure that y'all not getting caught up in that because it's real. And even it's so bad that they targeting women in their 30s these days. You know what I'm saying? These mamas, they stop raising them. All right, I'm trying to be funny. If it's not funny, I'm sorry. I wasn't funny when you signed up for this. Resource allocation. So I have a 90-day plan I'm going to give you guys. And again, setting realistic. Oh, realistic. That's what R mean. Realistic. You got to set. That's it. There you go. Realistic. There you go. Relevant. No, you said relevant and time bound. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Well, I thought it was realistic. But you need to set realistic goals too. If you know that you're not going to get out there and sell them books, be real with yourself. I did door-to-door salesmen, guys. So I'm going to tell you why. I was struggling. I was crying out there. People were slamming their door in my face. Oh my God. Some people did buy books, but that was the little bit of motivation. I was doing door-to-door sales because I believe in myself. And I was struggling to pay bills. And I got kids and women looking at me like, your art ain't selling. Give up. Go get a job. They not saying it. The kid ain't saying it for sure. But why are you still trying? Give up. That's the look that's in you. I don't believe in this. They don't believe in the art. If that's you, and guys, I said, I can't keep making excuses. I got $300 worth of books. So I went outside and I'm door to door, knocking on people's doors, and I'm selling books. And people was looking out their blinds. And I just remember breaking down crying and said, oh my God, I was about to go get a job. And then somebody told me at the MIC, they was like, A lot of entrepreneurs, they think being an entrepreneur is not going to get a job. That's not true. Being an entrepreneur, it shouldn't be about not getting a job. It should be about being wealthy, right? And setting realistic goals is not saying I don't want to not have a job, but I want to be wealthy, because marketing costs money. And if all the money that you're bringing in are coming from your books is going into your marketing, you're going to be hungry. And I was hungry, y'all. I was so hungry, whatever. So I got a marketing checklist that I'm going to give you guys. And let me post some of these inside of this. Can you put files in here? I don't know if you can put files in here, but I have it, and it's a PDF. I've already went over the case study. I talked about Brandon's success no, I didn't. So Brandon had a TV show pilot, Brandon T. Jackson State of Mind. I was one of the executive producers, right? And I said, bro, same thing Sophia Stewart said. So we put it out as a book first. He wrote down all of his tips. He was like, I'm going to tell you what he said. That was some of the best advice for him, because the show was able to develop easily. Right? When you got a blueprint, when you have a Bible, even in film they use the story Bible, it's because it's the source knowledge, right? And I'm just jump through that because I did talk about that. So from book to series, if you have one book and you want to take it to the next level, write part 2. Write it. Here you go. How to Tame an F-Boy. We have the workbook, the actual book, the F-Boy journal, and then we have a Christmas edition where every page says it's you, but in a different language. It's so jolly. And then we bundle it up, and then you can get the bundle. So let's say Growing in Grace, right? I'm just use Tiffany as an example. But then she'll say Growing in Grace for women over 50. Boom. Free idea. Take it and run. Arnita has the celibacy course that she's developing. So you write the book, you deliver the course, and you also have the audio. So in the audio, you say, and if you're someone who prefer to get the paperback. We have a physical copy for you available. In the physical copy, now if you want to listen to my amazing voice and you sitting here just turning these pages and wish you could hear me, is it in this one? No, we put it in, oh yes we did. So look, prime example. Used to love a crackhead. Don't screenshot this. You can if you want to. If you scan this barcode inside of her book, so y'all can get it, you can watch the documentary for free. So this book is now being adapted into a series, right? So we have this one lady whose mother was a crackhead, and we have another person who used to love a heroin head. So we are flipping them over and over and over and over again. And again, just to beat into the head of transmedia storytelling. I'm still telling my story of my life. I'm still talking about my favorite publication. This was the first book I've ever went to the copyright office and was like, I want to protect. Not first book, first concept, right? And I've got a lot of stuff copyrighted, but this was the first one that I was like, I love this the most. And don't be afraid to go and pay that couple of dollars to get the copyright. It's a game changer. This book started as a TV little skit show. Y'all remember my little cartoons? And now I wanted to do a graphic novel, but I wanted to do it with my baby. I didn't want to do it. I could have did somebody else's graphic novel. No, I want to do it with my stuff. The Clouts. My baby. This is my baby, right? We got the Clouts music. Whoever came in here earlier, you heard the songs playing. The Clouts got their own Christmas album. You see what I'm saying? But we're talking about publishing. Let's bring it back. It pays when people listen to it. So you type in Emmanuel Sims, the Clouts. Everything pops up that you see there. Those are products. And I'm only giving y'all this game because you want as many digital products as possible. I know that when I pass away, that my kids gonna always have a passive income. I know that when I come back into the next life, if whatever is true is true, I know I'm gonna have good examples to come and read when I get back. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta create it so that it exists. The marketing approach, this is what y'all came here for. I know. Facebook has it now. First of all, you need to turn your page into a professional page. That's one. Facebook has it now where you can schedule your posts through the Meta Business Suite. I'll walk you through it. I want to provide as much value as possible. All right. I'm going to use a client of mine who I know she wouldn't mind me using her as an example. And I know I'm being mindful of time, so I'll be brief. And if you guys want to hang out, just put in the comment that you're not tripping about the time. And I won't take forever, but I will be considerate, all right? So this is my soror. I manage her social media account, right? So you go to planner. So once you, first of all, let's just walk, well, I can't walk you through how to get there, but you need to go to Meta Business Suite. So business.facebook.com, right? Oh, I'm on page. I'm sorry. So this is her, I'm sorry. Present something to this one. So, okay, so from this page, there you go, perfect. Once you go to the dashboard, you click that, just so you know how to get there. All right, I'm sorry if it's confusing. From there, you go to here. And then you want to go on the right side again, and click planner. From there, it gives you suggested dates and different things like that. So we already have a post scheduled for the 17th. I'm going to hit schedule post. I'm going to go to my chat GPT because I already have our stuff ready. I'm going to scroll down. Y'all to follow me so y'all don't think I'm just making nothing up. Let me scroll, show y'all this. What day was that? The 17th? Right here. I trained my AI to make sure that it's ready for every occasion. It's only a few of y'all in here, so I don't mind giving this away. I really love y'all, and I appreciate y'all spending y'all Saturday with me. So then we're going to go back to Meta, right? And then we're going to save. Yes, we're going to set it for. So the peak time right there that Facebook suggests was 6 o'clock based off her algorithm. It's here. Now, I don't mind doing some plain posts. Normally, I will put a picture on this so that it can go to Instagram. And just for educational purposes, I will. And you gotta be organized, guys. So I have a folder with stuff for her already. Okay, gotta get organized. Start taking your stuff serious. You gotta start treating yourself like you're doing somebody. I can do this for everybody else. I need to be able to do this for me. You gotta start treating your stuff. Prompt me to schedule another post. So if I wanted to, boom, I can schedule another post. Back to back. Back to back. Continue editing. And then go back to ChatGPT and get the one for the next day. It takes a second, but our axiology, remember, we learn best from each other, guys. You're learning from a master social media specialist. Like, I ain't just blowing toots. I'm talking about, I used to be on computers when computers first came out. If you want to go further, now this is ridiculous. No, you need to lower that. They trying to get you. They will try to take your money. Don't spend your money. Not with them. Not directly. So, let's go back. So, but you have to get a plan in order, because some days you're not going to want to post. But if you have these scheduled posts, when you do feel like posting, you can just feel like posting type of Whenever I feel like posting, I post. But most of the time, my stuff's scheduled. Yeah, baby. I take it back from social media. I take it back from a job. You got to buy back your time. The way you buy back your time is with your assets, with your intellectual properties. Because look, if I died today, somebody wanted to take Baltimore City Cop, let's say his family, the original person that this book's about, wanted to get his family next level. We already wrote that contract. So he has permission to do whatever he wants with it without my permission. All I need is derived from this book. You can do whatever you want with the product as long as it says based on. That's why we did a remake of her story. She can still take her story and write a whole nother book. A whole nother. That is the point. It's transmedia. It's more and more and more and more and more. Okay. All right. I'm going. So result I learned. That's it, guys. It's consistency. Is staying on top of it, looking at your statistics, looking at your data. Earlier, my Amazon thing popped up. It's because I keep a window open so I can watch the authors. I update the authors' sales as they come through. So as they're coming through, I'm watching my numbers. I'm watching that as of the 15th, Ultimate Laura Huggins sold a book. Healing While Black sold a book. Icarus Carpaccio selling books. It's like you keep up with your stuff. I'll tell you my morning or week. Sometimes I do it throughout the day. I check KDP. It's in my blog. You got to check your numbers every single. You have to, because sometimes you need a little bit of motivation. Sometimes, if you like me, but when I get a percent, I'm like, you know what? I need to work harder. So remind yourself that you need to work harder. Number 2, I check ACX. That's the audio book. So if you have a book out, go on to do your audiobook. It's free. Amazon take a portion, but you know, if you ain't doing deals with Jeff Bezos, you know what I mean? Who you doing business with? Who you doing business with? I'm doing business with Jeff Bezos and Emmanuel Sims and everybody in this group chat. I've done business with everybody. So let's keep moving forward. Immediate steps to take action. Message. Everybody in here, if you got a product, you got something, I'm going to do a write-up of this, and I'll post your stuff in our article so that people can purchase your book. You want to have blogs. Watching your blog. Number 8. Metadata. You want to make sure that someone, even if it's you, about your products. You need to make sure that someone, even if it's you, is writing about your product. When you make sure we're the same bracket of things, big homies poetry, big homies whatever, and they type in big homie, you may not. So this, I'm gonna give you a prime example. Who've had a good realtor who just stay up your butt, and you know you're not about to buy nothing from them, but you love them because they send you holiday cards. They like your best friend, but they trying to sell you a house, right? I felt so bad for this guy. I said, bro, listen, I'm not in the market to buy a house, but let me sit down and help you publish your book. I helped him publish his book, and I will buy you. I bought his book from him because I wanted to spend money with him, but I didn't want to buy a house. So how many people love you? They know to spend money, but you ain't got nothing to buy. They can't afford nothing you selling. Make something for them to buy. Create something for them to buy. People sitting around you, they need to be buying something from you. But if you don't have nothing to sell or nothing, you gotta just make something, and not just trading your time for money. What I trade, I go on the internet and I may make content, I may make videos, I may make these things. But I put myself in the lottery, right? It's 6 million people in the state of Maryland. Meaning I'm trying to at least get them to spend at least $1 with me a piece. Right? Don't give up. There's always another creative way to do it. Steps is put yourself out there. Be uncomfortable. Partnerships and brand partnerships. Go to your local library. If you're in Columbia, Howard County, I'm gonna just say Howard County. Howard County, you can go fill out a form. If you're in Maryland, most of us in the DMV, fill out a form and put your book inside the library. If there's other ways to do it in libraries, get your books in the libraries. You gotta go let's go. I'm gonna send everybody this resource list, and I know we've run over our time, and I'm gonna send everybody this market and check off list that we have. My contact information you guys know, and then that's it. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to stop presenting, and I'm going to try to bring myself to the front, and I'm going to Q&A. Anybody that want to join, let me see. I said I was going to know how to do this. Ask any questions that you have for me if you want to stick around and ask any questions. I don't know how to cut your mic on if you can. I don't know if you can cut your mics on. Okay,
it's Tajana. How you doing?
Hey Tajana, that's how you, girl. I'm so happy you said that.
I'm good. So I did have a question, and I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. But on the front of my mind right now would be making the professional page for the book, right? What you said about the blogging makes complete and total sense because I've been following my intuition on blogging, what I'm doing each day, because people are just interested in that apparently. So my question would be, as far as, let's say, my personal page right now on my Facebook, is that what I would want to turn into my author's page, so to speak, and then blog there and do those things there to get the best value for what I'm doing?
Yes, I tell you why. Because a lot of times people go and try to make a new account. I want to make a new author page. I want to make a new. The problem with that
definitely happened with my other page.
Me too, right? Same. But you have to build a new audience now. And now you're trying to get people to leave from where they already are to come here to do what you need them to do. That's one, right? So if they're already I realize this Facebook page has the most, I'm going to mine this Facebook page. And I just got on Facebook. I've been on Instagram for years, but people on Instagram ain't spending no money, honey.
And demographic is definitely on Facebook.
Absolutely.
It's a very hard truth. They are right there.
Yep. And I had to accept that myself. So creating that space there where it's already at. And yes, day in the life stuff. So to answer your question, hook your life or whatever, call to action, right? Have you guys ever wondered if life could be a lot easier, well, I'm going to show you this self-care routine that I go to. I'll go to this routine, they watch it, I'm there. All right, if you want to know more about that, make sure you check out my Life Mastery book. I tell you a little bit about blah, 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 blah. You ask for the sell.
That is perfect because my life is completely revolving around these children. And I can segue so easily with the children's books with that in mind. And then when I have the marketing going on for whenever I get there to the adult book, I can do the same thing, but it would be more focused around me as opposed to the kids.
Yes.
That tracks. That really makes sense. Thank you.
My pleasure. And if the other question comes up, please feel free. Anybody else? You got me. This is me. I'm here. Whatever you want, pick my brain. This ain't the $15 session. I'm just playing. No, you got me, y'all. I got y'all. I'm here. Ask me whatever you want. I'm here. All right. If we don't have any more, I'm gonna
one more.
Take your time.
With the, I saw you were talking about moving the series, right? Where we're looking at the book to being a series of books, and then that being the blueprint for, let's say, like a movie or cartoons or whatever. That being something that I'm strongly wanting to get into right now would probably be the point where I'm actually focused mainly on the book stuff, right? So you focus on the book stuff, create that life, create that audience, and then that other stuff, if you will, it will start to be able to be developed on its own. Is there a certain time frame I should put on that?
So the beauty of life is everybody's inspired by somebody. So as you're creating that blueprint, right? I look at my life as a mosaic. I tell people, take a step back and really look at me, and you'll see what it is, right? And it's a beautiful masterpiece, right? So as you're creating these series, right, you may have intention on what you want them to be. Manifest it, right? Manifest it to the point where someone calls you and say, hey, I found your book and I want to turn it into a series. Still do your day-to-day, right? Still go to work. Remember, don't quit that job. Still do your day-to-day, making the book, making the series, adding to the series, building the world. Think about the audience, right? There's this website called Fandom, right? I'm on Fandom. I got to keep going back on there because so much work. I'm going to hire somebody to do it. Go on Fiverr, hire somebody to do it, right? Fandom, you come up with your characters. You say, that's the character, this is their story. But it's like a Wikipedia for your book, right? So it's like, when I say taking your book serious, it's like, if you go and look up your favorite author, you might be able to see their characters from the book got a whole backstory. And it's publicly available, right? So making your story, the whole thing available. Let's say they only identify with one vampire. Let's do the vampire movie. They was Team Jacob and Team so-and-so. They made a whole thing out of it, right? So you got to give people that space to make that. So in the checkoff list, I gave you all the tools that you can use, and I give you some different ideas. But what you want to do is, in your adult book, if there is a main character in this, Officer Malik, right? In the back of it, we're already promoting the next book, and that's his dad's story, right? In this story, we're talking about how he's driving the streets of Baltimore, and he's going through this and that, this and that. We can start selling cop badges. You understand? In the meantime, we can start telling his origin story on a blog site, right? Maybe your blog just talks about the characters. Maybe your blog just tells little side stories about the intimacy that caught on. Like, we got Reboot, so it's a 5-book series, right? But then we have spin-offs of each character makes its own story. So if it's thinking about the audience, what's your favorite book?
Oh, man.
Come on now. Give me something.
My favorite book would have to be
The Alchemist. Who was the main character?
Honestly, I can't even remember his name.
It's all good, right? But I don't know where we're going with that. They didn't give me enough information.
Yeah, but no, I get what you're saying with that, right? One of the things that got me so caught up in The Alchemist is everything had an energy. So I took that upon myself to meditate more, to dive deeper into the spirit of the wind, the spirit of the sun, and so forth. So these could be blogs, these could be personal things that people can dive into. I follow you.
That's perfect. That's exactly what I'm saying. So you can take the wind. Hit me out before you clear me out, though, right? Take the wind and now write a bunch of children's books just teaching the wind. That's what I'm talking about. You felt that?
Okay, I did.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because that's what I want. I want this to be relatable, these things to be understandable to children. And that's what I focus on for my kids. Okay.
But that is, and then
I'm so happy right now.
so you just take. I'm so happy. I'm happy you said that. Okay, but it's taking the mediums and making it available, making it resourceful, thinking about the audience, considering your customer. Like, They want, let's say you seen a commercial and it wasn't about the book, but it was just about the character. And you're like, damn, I like him. And then you find out later on it's attached to a book. Or you see a little video clip on Twitter or TikTok and you say, oh, I want to go see that movie. Because it was just a little snippet of somebody who reminded you of you. So you go watch the movie. That's what you're doing. You're giving them little snippets of you so that they can come find you. And then all of your products will be available when they come to the market. Anybody else? I'm glad that helps. Anybody else? Any other questions? Yes, or needed a voice.
So you know that I'm passionate about finances, about celibacy, about grief. Would you advise me to pick one of those topics and focus on it first? Or can I delve into different things simultaneously? The three different topics.
So happy you asked that question. So I do this thing called composting. I had went through this manly little journey or whatever, and we had to use these buckets or whatever, right? And we used to have to use them to use the bathroom. Not to be disgusting. But later on, we would take that stuff and you would fertilize the land so that you can grow corn and other different vegetables or whatever, right? I say all this to say, I learned to multitask from that concept. Sometimes you gotta, say you start on one. Let's say you start on grief. And instead of balling it up and throwing it in the trash, put the shit in the bucket, right? You're going to use it later. Then you might jump to this one. And you might do all this work or whatever. And it's like, it's not there. Put it in the bucket. Then you might get to the celibacy and you're like, oh, I'm feeling flow. And that might be the one you could really get out. It ain't nothing. You put the shit on paper, right? Once it's done, you might go back and say, oh, you know what? That was easy. You know what I should have did when I was doing this one? And then you're able to use the techniques from that, whatever you did, to complete the other one. And then you're like, oh, man, shoot, I got that. Or you can just keep doing the triangle. Keep jumping from them as you get inspired. As long as you're doing those steps every single day. Maybe you don't got to write a page every day. Don't people screw you over with that. That's a lot of work. But if you ideate about it every day, if you just have a conversation with yourself, Steve Harvey said he looked at the piece of paper every day, said we want to go on TV. If you just give it attention every day, you'll get those 3 books out in no time. And we have techniques and tools and writers if you need help. But yes, I think you should do all 3. You don't have to wait to do them. I honestly wouldn't wait to do them. I would do them all 3 simultaneously. I would have 3 Microsoft Words open, and whenever I feel like doing one or the other one, I would do it and just add as many points as possible. And then seek counsel, seek Tiffany, reach out to somebody for feedback, see how you can make it longer, go on ChatGPT to expand on your ideas, see what somebody else said. Do whatever you got to do to get it done, because once the product is done, that's money. And you got a team and we ready. We always say in vivo exposure is the only place you can come in sometimes when it comes to books with just an idea and you can turn it into a solid income. Because I employ you. We need those books. And think about how you want to deliver them. Do you want them to be teaching workbooks? Do you, in a book, I'll tell you this, a book don't got to be 100 pages. A book could be 20 to, it got to be, sometimes on Amazon it got to be minimum 27 pages, but a book don't got to be no long book. Ultimate Lewis' book, I wish I had a copy of it. Her book was a little under 30 pages. But she dropped so many, being concise. Y'all know about being concise. Sometimes you can just say what needs. Today, I ain't beat around the bush. I ain't try to oversell. I got straight to the point. And she said she understood. That's happy. One person get it, I'm happy. I still hear, I said somebody enjoying something. But what I'm saying is, sometimes you can just tell people, look, put the butter on the bread. And sometimes people need to hear it like that. Sometimes all that extra fluff is cool, but it ain't really needed. You know what I'm saying? It's hard, sis. And it's hard. And you wanna get involved. You wanna get physical. But it's okay. Take a deep breath. Whenever I feel like I'm about to fall backslide into a bad relationship, I breathe. Tell her what you do exactly. I take a step back. I'm a comedian, so I'm not trying to say nothing funny. I just try to keep on. But whatever you think, whatever that resource, that value, you get me? Value is. Because whatever that value is, articulate that as concise as possible. Don't overthink making it thick. Do what some other people did. Put some extra pages in the back of it. You know what I'm saying? Add some illustrations in it. You know what I'm saying? I love this one book. He had journal pages. Big Homie showed us that when he was on the show. The dude had notebook pages from his actual journal in the book. So get creative. It could be pictures of grandma's old recipe, and then you drew some stuff to say, well, I did it like this instead of you can. The more unique, the better sometimes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, don't be afraid to be creative. Just give her what she needs. Give him what he needs. Don't feel like I gotta be a freaking Lawrence Fishburne. Don't feel like I got. He's not an author. I like that. I don't know. That's horrible. But don't feel like you gotta be theologians. Be you, man. That's it. Just give them what they need. No doubt.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and I hope that helped. And you call me anytime. Be here.
Absolutely, and that definitely helped.
Appreciate it. Anybody else? Don't be shy. So you might ask a question somebody else need to hear. I know you're still in here. Big homie, you got something for me? All right, if not, guys, thank y'all so much. I'm still going to leave it open. I'm going to give a second, but thank you so much. It means a lot to me to have you here. I am in this competition. So look, go buy some of my books. Get the free ones, add them to your, just purchase the free ones, as many of my free ones as possible. If they on Kindle, just add them all to your thing and just hit, because I'm not going to get the 10 points. I'm giving them 10 points if they do the post. I'm not doing that. I got to play fair because I know I can post all day, right? And that's not fair because that's my profession. But I don't want to lose. I'm at 1. And make me look good a little bit, y'all. Thank you so much for spending your Sunday with me. If no one's told you they love you today, know that God loves you and so do I. I specialize in video production and transmedia storytelling. So if you have a story, let me help you tell it and make some money. My name is Emmanuel Sims. I love you guys. Wait, somebody coming on. What's up, Tiffany?
I just wanted to say thank you. It was very helpful. I'm glad that Arnita asked the question about multiple things going on because it resonated with me. Because at first I felt like do one thing at a time. Because a lot of times people tell you, oh no, do one thing at a time. You got to finish one chapter before you start the next one. But I'm also a multitasker, and if I have a thought about something, I need to get this down. And then I'm like, oh, I need to do this. So thank you, Arnita, for asking that question because you just confirmed about the multiple things that I need to set out to do. So again, thank you, Emmanuel, for this helpful session. People who missed it, I'm glad they can watch it again, but you really did drop some gems. So thank you again.
No problem.
And I'm also in the competition as well.
Gotta ask for the sale. I'm not mad at you.
There's 2 options for me. The newest one, Growing in Grace, but then also the book that Emmanuel adapted my story for. I used to love a crackhead. So.
And look, she wasn't on the drugs. She just was dealing with somebody that had the addiction, y'all. So it's a really good read.
I used to love him.
She used to. She's so big homie. I know you're looking for a wife. But no, let me appreciate. Listen, to answer, I know you didn't ask a question, but to go back to that multitasking thing, right? Last thing I'll say on it is your ideas deserve it, right? Your ideas deserve it, and system. That's what I was gonna get at. System. Again, if you need the formula again, it's write that line of what that idea is. Grief, celibacy, finance. I want them to know. Remember what we did, Arnita, when we was in the meeting? I want them to know about this. I want them to know about that. I want those key points that you really feel like they should know that they struggle with. If you've been telling me about getting my little percentage, I've been doing my percentage on trying to get my credit together, but I've been working actively on it because you just said a few words. And I'm like, oh, that really worked for you? You say, that worked for me. Just that helped. You know what I'm saying? So when you understand how people operate, you can say, just turn it to the left. And then, man, bitch, I've been doing it to the right this whole time. I was wondering why it ain't cutting on. You know what I'm saying? How many times we done pulled at a push door? Like, it's okay. And the problem is we've been conditioned. And you just got to understand a lot of people has been conditioned. So you want to come up with a system, title, different details, and then you write about each one of those different details. They don't got to be long. Just fill in those points. If you feel like you need more pages, you won't know that until you get on Amazon. So once you get that done, then you're like, okay, I need 27 pages. So then you can add some more pages, add a title page, add I made this book because page, made a this and that page, I made it that. Do whatever you got to do. Excuse me, put some pictures in there. Have AI come up with some pictures and put them on the different blank pages. But coming up with a system so that you follow it per book. That's the answer to all of the problems. I'm going to write it. Like now my system right now is idea, because I use a lot of AI. Idea. I do pre-production, meaning who is the characters? We talked about this. Where's the plot? Where you got to do all that. That's what makes it authentic. That's what makes it your story if you decide to use AI. It's the details, it's the pre-production, it's the backstories. You still got to do that work, right? And then from there, you branch it off into different mediums. And that's the last gem I'm going to give you. But you got to do the pre-production. That's what I walked away with from Full Sail. Pre-production. That's everybody want to get into the film and they want to make their movie, but they ain't thinking about
this. They ain't thinking about the sunlight. They ain't thinking about this. They ain't thinking about what that means. They're not thinking about the stuff first. Think about what you're trying to get first. She always say put the end, do the end first. Think about the end first. And then, if it might rain. You planning an event. It might rain. You might need to do it inside. We need to have a backup plan. You got to be thinking about every little thing in the beginning. He gonna meet her. She gonna get hit. Think about those. Most times, just think about those key points and just tackle those key points, y'all. Make sure that it follows your narrative. Make sure it's what you want and stay on top of it. And that's it. That's the last thing, Tiffany, because you didn't say it, but I'm going to just answer it. It's a system. You need a system. So once you take it from there, you write it. Once you write it, you get the cover. Once you get the cover, you format the cover for the different formats. You need a different cover for hardback. You need a different cover for paperback. You need a different cover for audio. You need a different cover for Kindle. So format and then go on Canva. That's going to be in the little list I give you. Go on Canva, hit reformat. Take your time. Read those little things on Amazon. They're going to tell you everything that you need. If you fuck up, excuse my language, my son right there, Lord, if you make a mistake, they're going to tell you in the email where you made the mistake at. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. I got to get to a birthday party. So listen, get these books. Get the free ones. We just made a book available for free, Innovate to Elevate. Again, I did my outro, but Tiffany jumped in. If no one's told you they love you, they know that God loves you, and so do I. Make it a great day or not. The choice is yours.
So the hardest periods, they say, are when your kids are toddlers and then teens. We needed some new kinds of tools in our toolbox to deal with the teen years because it's challenging. We make choices and our life changes because of them dramatically. I would say, I definitely had to give up some things, but I gained so much.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Thank you so much for doing this. We met at the Howard County Community Fair, and I was drawn to your energy. Of course, they put you right in the center, so the universe didn't want me to miss you. And then Noah also gravitated to your table.
Yes, he was adorable. I love the little craft activity we did.
So I want to know, tell us a little bit about who you are and your background.
Sure. So I am a mom of two, and I am now a parent educator as well as a couple educator. I actually went to UMBC, University of Maryland, Baltimore County. I got an undergrad in psychology. Then I moved to California in '97, and in 2000, I'd done a lot of community work. I'd worked on housing issues, homelessness, in the law field, doing fundraising. And so in 2000, I decided I'm going to do what I think comes naturally to me, which is to go study psychology. So I entered a doctorate program out there in California. I got about 3/4 of the way through it, and then I'd gotten married to my husband, and we had our first child. There was a point where I realized I really wanted to spend more time with him, and it was actually less expensive for me to stay at home. So I took a leave of absence, thinking I would go back in a few years. But then we had our second child. By the time I wanted to go back, it was about 10 years later. And in that program, they would only honor about 9 credits. So there was no way I could do that. So meanwhile, I had been raising our kids, super involved with doing that, a lot of volunteer work, a lot of community work, always worked with parent educators, always made sure that I attended whatever parenting workshops I could or access support, or sent my husband to access the workshops that were being offered, which he didn't always appreciate, but usually after the fact he appreciated them. I ended up getting a Master's of Science in Education instead, 10 years after I had left the program. And that was an important degree because it really helped me to understand children with learning differences who are also very bright. We ended up moving back to Maryland about 5 years ago, and I thought I was going to get involved with education here. I did end up getting involved in a volunteer capacity through the PTSA and at our kids' high school, plus the county level PTSA, which is called PTAC, which is a great organization. And I did parent education at the high school level, but also helped to coordinate a group that provided county-wide parent education. So to any parents of high school students in the county, they could access free parent education programs. So I love that work, and we had teens at the time. We needed some new kinds of tools in our toolbox to deal with the teen years because it's challenging. I ended up taking some positive discipline courses, started to really learn those tools, which completely helped us and really helped to turn around some struggles that we were having. So I was certified in public discipline in 2022 to be a parent educator. And then the following year, I got certified in it's called Keeping the Joy in Relationship, which is all about supporting couples and partners. So a parent educator is a person who works with parents to provide them tools and information on strategies that are known to be effective in working with their kids, improving their relationships with their kids, getting more cooperation from their kids, learning how to set limits with their kids, all the struggles that parents have in raising kids. A parent educator can be there to support your journey. Positive discipline is a particular model of parent education. It was founded by a woman named Jane Nelson. She's written several books. Out of her work grew an organization called the Positive Discipline Association, and they provide training to parents as well as information on where you can access parent educators yourself if you need support. And her work, Positive Discipline, grew out of teachings and the psychology of Alfred Adler, who goes back to the 1930s. So it's very pro-child. He was one of the original founding psychologists. There's Freud, Jung, and Adler. He came out of Vienna. He eventually transplanted to America, and his information has always been remarkably effective in helping both parents and teachers. Out of him, a gentleman named Dreikers interpreted a lot of his work in the 60s and wrote a book called Children the Challenge. And Jane Nelson, the mother of Positive Discipline, based a lot of her work on Children the Challenge by Dreikers. So it's kind of a lineage of practices and thinking around raising children. So MAP Wisdom stands for Marriage and Parenting Wisdom. And I really loved the acronym because we all need a map for that journey, right? So, and I want to also emphasize that it's also partnerships. It's partners raising kids, and also co-parenting. So that happens in life, right? We're not always able to work it out with our partners. So co-parenting is a very important piece of raising children well. So MAP Wisdom is a practice that is here to support parents, both with parent education, so practices, understandings, capacities, tools in your toolbox, and also MAP Wisdom supports partnership and marriage, so couple skills. So same thing, practices, understandings, capacities, to really help strengthen the partnership bonds. So that's what MAP Wisdom is about. So there really are a lot of tools in positive discipline. There's several ways that it is done in MAP Wisdom. There's a drop-in chat group for parents who want to either sort of start learning about it. It's kind of low commitment. Anyone can drop in anytime. It's $10 to drop in, very affordable.
How often?
That is weekly on Tuesdays at noon Eastern time, and it's online, and it's 25 minutes. So it's a quick drop in, and if people want to stick around for a 5-minute mindfulness grounding exercise at the end, you can, because that's such a big piece of being in relationship, is being able to kind of ground ourselves. And there's also one on Thursdays that's for couples, same time, noon. It's $10 to pop in. There's a longer course, which is 6 weeks, It's a group course online, and parents can join that. You're learning a lot of skills in that. The group environment is excellent because you're seeing what other parents are doing. You're learning from their successes. You're learning from their mistakes. You're better able to understand your own mistakes and your own successes. And then finally, there's the private consultation. There's, sort of private education, but then there's also coaching, and they're not exactly the same. So I do both, and I'm, there to work with parents both on the parenting, also the couple support, because so much of being able to keep this whole project afloat is making sure that the co-executors are working together. I mean, I don't know what the research is on this, but I believe that kids are basically a risk factor for divorce because it is so difficult raising kids. There are so many possible points of conflict. And, it just, when you have kids, all the pressures are amplified dramatically. Like if you're in a relationship with a person and it's going well, you may or may not be married, whatever, but you don't have all those additional stressors that are added when you have children. It's much easier to maintain a relationship when it's just two people. You add those kids and it's a whole new game. It's a whole new experience. So, I think that it's quite common, that people have kids and it will expose every weakness you have in your relationship. Inevitably, being in relationship forces us to grow, no matter what, whether you have kids or not, whether you have a girlfriend, a boyfriend, whether you're married. Being in relationship forces us to grow emotionally. We have to, just by the nature of learning how to be with somebody else, learning how to be ourselves while we're with somebody else, learning how to adjust, learning how to accommodate, learning how to compromise, learning how to be assertive when we need to, hold our feet to the floor firm in what we need. So it's hard doing that as an individual with someone else. It ups the challenge when we're in relationship with a significant other, and you add children. And again, now all of these demands are amplified. So it is an opportunity when you have children and a partner. It provides us with an opportunity to do deep emotional growing. In America, we've moved into this what's called intensive parenting model. It's really being driven by two things, it appears. One is that parents are busier than they were in previous decades and generations. Secondly is that all parents now ascribe to a set of values around raising their kids, which is high inputs into the kids. So soccer practice, dance lessons, art classes, music lessons, tutoring, like whatever it is, parents are much more driven to make sure their kid is getting, as much as they can to get them on a good start. And that's not necessarily unfounded. As economic disparities do grow in this country, there's a lot of parental anxiety about their, keeping their kids, making sure they're on a successful trajectory. Some parents push back with this, kind of these laid back, laissez-faire, free range parenting styles. But I think a lot of parents feel the pressure, and it's hard not to, do those kinds of things for your kids. Make sure they've got the lessons and certainly the tutoring support and, or whatever help they need. One of the other trends that is definitely newer in terms of parenting from previous generations is the emphasis on what's called relational parenting. Parents have become much more invested in developing good, strong bonds with their kids, connections. And that wasn't necessarily the case for most parents in previous generations. It just wasn't part of the common understanding. But it's being fueled partly by neuroscience, new research in neuroscience, and also attachment research. So we do recognize now that having a strong, healthy, emotional relationship with your child in the sense of being connected to them is very helpful for your children, and it's considered what they call a protective factor. Mm-hmm. It will make it easier to weather a lot of the storms and bumpy parts of life. It can help keep your child, potentially off drugs. It can help keep your child out of mischief. Or if they get into mischief, that strong attachment and that, secure bond can help get them back on track. That is more work for parents as well. It's more work. Previous generations raised the kid, they're doing all right, off they go. It just wasn't as common knowledge, or not understood as well. So I was working with a couple that had a son. They were very frustrated with him because he was not listening to them, particularly in the morning routine. And this was a child who was really a very astute little person, just understanding a lot of things, was reading, maybe a grade above, maybe 2 grades. They were getting angry and yelling. So bringing the awareness to what's happening in the morning when they started kind of losing it, and also the reasons how come the child was not listening, like what was going on with the child in those moments. So we looked at things like, routines, developing routines, creating those routines with your child, so that the child, when you do that with your child, you're getting buy-in, just like we do in companies. When you sit down and create these routines with your child and write them out, you're going to start increasing cooperation. You're going to start seeing more of what you need and want from that child. So that's a strategy that's simple, but creating routines that parents can do, that these parents started doing, and that started working for them. The other thing is a tool called Take Time for Training. It's hard for us to understand sometimes the mindset of a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old or an 8-year-old. They don't have the same competencies that we have, and we really do forget that. We think that they know what it means to gather the dishes from the table and put them in the sink. They don't actually necessarily know what that means the way that you want it done. So you do have to take time to, in a calm manner, explain to your child what you want them to do, and show them. It's the modeling, it's doing it together. You can make it fun. So take time for training, and it's simple, but a lot of parents, we don't do it. So that's another tool that can be in your toolbox. The other really big one that's important for parents, that I needed to get this down when my kids were teens. So the hardest periods, they say, are when your kids are toddlers and then teens. In many ways, it's a similar state. They're different, but developmentally they're different, but they have parallels in that in the toddler years, a kid is starting to express their desire for autonomy. Let me do it, let me do it. Well, guess what? It's the same thing in the teen years. Let me do it, let me do it. They're really coming into their autonomy, their independence, their sovereignty. They know a lot, but they're still young, in their teen years. So you get a lot of pushback as parents. It's from them. It's very challenging to navigate those teen years. And so I know I needed to learn this, and then I saw it with this couple with their son. Their son was older than a toddler, but there's a tool. It's actually taught by Dan Siegel. He's a psychiatrist down in LA, and it's called Brain in the Palm of the Hand. It's a simple little process, but it explains a lot to us. So if you think of your hand as a brain, this is like the brain stem. The fingers are your prefrontal cortex, and this is where the center, your prefrontal cortex, has all your judgment, your moderating of emotions, your learning goes on in the prefrontal cortex, all of your executive functions, so planning, those sorts of things, time management. And then underneath is the more primitive part of the brain, which is the amygdala and the hippocampus. And those are the emotional centers, the more primitive emotional centers that protect us in times of danger. So this is also the center of fright, flight, flee, or faint, I think is what they call it. So this is where we react. These are our emotional reactions. The prefrontal cortex is what helps moderate that. So in positive discipline, we talk about when your buttons get pushed as a parent, and they will, we often will flip our lid, right? We're angry. Everything's gotten triggered in us, our neurochemicals are, putting out stuff that's making us angry, and we are no longer accessing the prefrontal cortex, which helps us to moderate emotion. So when your lid is flipped, this is not the time to try to instruct your child in something. It is not the time to try to negotiate with your child. It is not the time to try to set a limit with your child. Take a break. And that's the lesson. It's like when lids are flipped, this is not the time to be engaging. So you can do that when things are calmer, but that's a really important lesson. And parents don't always recognize when our lids are flipped. We're not even aware. So just becoming conscious of like, oh, whoa, I just flipped my lid. So then find a way to re-regulate. So much in life is about re-regulating our emotions, coming back to a place of centeredness. And the other thing is that we're also actually modeling this for our kids. So when we're grounded and centered, so there's new research on what's called co-regulation. So in interpersonal relationships, we are co-regulating our emotional kind of feeling inside, our centeredness. We co-regulate with the people around us. If you're calm and centered, you're modeling that for your kid, but you're also actually co-regulating so that they're experiencing greater calm. When your lid is flipped, you're modeling that for your kid, and the chances are you're going to be co-regulating that with your kid. So high conflict households, this is where people's lids are flipped. Learning how to get grounded and centered, not engaging when your lid is flipped, taking a break. They call it self-soothing, so learning how to self-soothe, getting back to center. Then you can go back and you can readdress that, you can address that issue, whatever it was. And this works with spouses also. Not a good idea to engage when both your lids are flipped. I mean, sometimes people need to do that just to kind of vent and release some energy. And sometimes that's effective. I mean, I know like my husband and I, sometimes I think, we're better now, but in the past there were just times where it was like, we were just venting. We just needed to release some energy, but we're better now. We're way better now because we've learned these skills. So co-regulation, flipping your lid, getting calmer, learning how to do that stuff is so important as a parent and in relationship. And one other thought about that, when we talk about trauma-informed parenting, people who've had a lot of trauma in their childhoods or the ACEs, the adverse childhood experiences, their more primitive centers of the brain, the amygdala, all of that, have been on heightened alert. There might be a vigilance there or a hairpin kind of reactivity to things, right? Their buttons might get punched more easily, or they might just have a vigilance with them all the time because they had to. It was protective for them. So they're more sort of, amped up just normally in terms of their kind of their own regulation, emotional regulation. That impacts, how the person who has that past trauma is impacting with other people around them. It impacts how they're relating to other people around them. If you find that you want to speak more and you want to tell people things, right? Because there's something in you that's like, no, 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 you know, I've got something to say, you know, like that urge, that might be a sign to take a step back and observe yourself a little bit more. And also another teaching in positive discipline is ask, don't tell. So, I mean, I was in a bad habit of telling my teenagers what to do, and that did not work. So I had to learn the skill of asking. And when you start asking, it's fascinating what happens. Because a lot of times people, the person you're asking the questions, they will figure it out themselves. They will self-correct. So that's a big transition for parents. Asking, not telling. We're doing so much telling. So I think sometimes that sensation of like kind of wanting to interject or speak up or, you know, say something, you can feel that in your body. You can notice it in your behavior. For people that are coming from more traumatic backgrounds, you might feel a sense of bereftness, a sense even of emptiness, or really shut down inside. So I think some people, it just depends kind of what happened to you, your experiences growing up and what you've learned, what was modeled for you, how you were co-regulating with the people around you. You know, there can be, for some people, a sense of like a cliff, you know, that like, it's just feels awful. So alone, you know, so alienated and just alone in this work, in these struggles. And an important teaching that is not a teaching of positive discipline, but it's a couple teaching. So it's not a parenting teaching, but it's more for couple support. It's from John and Julie Gottman. They're both psychologists. John Gottman, he's been a marriage researcher for, I think, about 40 years. He's at University of Washington, I believe it is. And it's a concept called turn towards. And it's referring to the fact that partners can, you know, be together. They could spend a whole weekend together and not have a moment of intimacy. So you're in the same house. One of you is watching TV. The other might be, you know, be on the computer. Somebody may watch a show late at night. Somebody else may take a bath. And you can go through this whole weekend and never really touch down with each other. Like, you need to create connection with your spouse. You need to create that intimacy. And so turning towards, a lot of times when we feel at a loss with either the parenting struggles or maybe something at work, partners can get in the habit of turning away from their spouse or their partner. When you do that, you're starting to lay like tracks down for that sort of continued behavior. It creates greater distance in the relationship over time. So this idea of turning towards, you have to start turning towards each other. And it can be really hard because you make yourself vulnerable. And your partner may not know how to be there for you when you're turning towards. You're trying to turn towards, but maybe they're doing or saying something really like stupid in the moment. So how can you turn towards them? So then you got to work through that stuff. So it's work. It's work. It's always going to be work to learn how to create better connections with your spouse, and certainly also our children. But this turning towards is a really important practice that we need to be doing with our partners. Wow, that's a good question. In my teen years, what are your biggest struggles right now? What are you not getting that you see around you? You know, but I might want to do a lot of telling too. In my 20s, I might ask myself, what are you afraid of? What might your life be like if you don't go down this road? Because we really do come to these places, right, where we make choices and our life changes because of them. Yeah, I think probably always asking yourself, what is it that I want? What is it that I'm afraid of? What's holding me back? What can I do differently to make things better for myself and for the people around me. I think they'd be like, whoa, you did this? Are you kidding me? You know, like I would say, you know, I had to give up some things, but I gained so much. And it isn't the things that we're taught in school to value and to treasure. Having a career is really important, and women do need to have careers, and we all need to have careers. And sometimes you might have to downshift, and that's a decision, you know, that every family does have to make on their own, how they're going to do that, if they decide to do that. There's a lot of choices along the way that you can make, and I think, yeah, my younger self, my 20 self would just be like, I cannot believe you did this, and how did you do this? How did you do this? Yeah, and I would say I did it by keeping an open heart, keeping an open mind. I had to let go of a lot of stuff, a lot of fear, being able to tolerate your own fear, keeping your heart open to the possibilities, making yourself vulnerable, you know, and courage.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this beautiful interview. Just look in the cameras, tell them who you are and where they can find you on social media.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm Lisa Krause. I'm a parent and couple educator and coach, and you can find me at mapwisdom.com.
Let's praise the Lord. Let's praise the Lord. Tonight, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the exorcism tonight. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove
Manny,
some
the light,
demons
put the light on.
Tap fucking shit together, please. Tonight, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the exorcism. And,
Exorcism. Exorcism.
excuse me?
Exorcism.
That's what I said, baby. Exorcism. Yes.
You said,
And
okay.
Don't correct.
Okay.
And tonight we're going to be removing some demons from, I believe she's Caucasian, if I'm not mistaken. Tonight.
Where's the other talent?
She's
Where's
coming.
Where's the other talent?
The
Light, Jerry.
I am dark in the
Jerry,
night.
the
I need to be
light.
seen.
Come on.
Thank you. All right.
Where is the,
I heard
damn
you
it.
asked if my son. She's coming. She just had to make sure that she had the holy water for tonight's experiment. Yes, I just want you guys to know. You guys are probably thinking, who's this guy? Who the fuck does he think he is?
You got it?
Over here.
You got it?
Oh, God.
Okay. Sorry. Sorry, reset to 1. Okay.
Stop.
Okay, here she goes. Okay,
Thank you.
here she goes, sir.
Ma'am. Come on. Man. I was trying to make a scene. Shoot. Tell the people what you came to do tonight.
The exorcism.
No, the exorcism.
Exorcism. Exorcism.
Exorcism.
Light, Jerry.
I told
Light.
you to stop talking. Exorcism.
Sexorcism.
Sexorcism.
Exorcism.
Exorcism.
Pedestrianism.
Flechiism.
Sex.
Hey.
Hey, Steven.
Leganism. Oh. anyway, oh, we get it. But anyways, so like we were saying, we got an exorcism, cynicism,
Jerry, up
Catholicism,
with the light.
Melanism. We gotta get one of these out of here today, okay? So we about to go in here, we're gonna go up the elevator, and we're gonna get this shit started, okay?
Let's go. Go, Jerry. Go. Got it.
She said she was on the way. She should already be upstairs. Do your thing. No germs, we don't touch. Growing up.
There's a motherfucker trying to play me.
All I'm saying. So these ain't real guns.
No, nigga.
We going to a sex facility with no real guns. This some bullshit. These niggas got guns from Toys R Us to get us to kill a bitch. It's okay. It's all fake anyway. You know me.
Just like the bitches.
You ain't even have to
Oh my.
Well, hello, sir. Come see me if you want to be saved, okay?
welcome.
Thank you, thank you. Jesus loves you.
Jerry, you're in the shot. Damn it.
Oh, now this nigga don't fight me and me. I'm never sleeping, never sleeping, never sleeping. Can't be related to me.
Good. Come on, Jerry, come on. Good. Okay, y'all. All right, don't forget what we're here to do. Where's the door? Oh, Jerry. Jerry. Damn it, Jerry. Wait, Jerry? Oh, jeez.
Are you guys the people from New York that deal with exorcisms?
Well, who else the hell was it?
Oh, my God.
She's in this right.
Oh, my God.
You gonna find the head and everything.
Oh, yes, look at this. Yes, yes. This has possession all over it. Yes. I feel. This is possession has all over it. Feel that? Do you feel that energy?
I feel it.
Oh, do you feel it?
Right.
Jerry, boom in the shot.
Right.
But the real question is, do you have
How
any...
strong are those pockets?
Yes, I do. How much
How strong are those
Let me
pockets?
see real quick.
The name.
Hey, yeah, so we're gonna take off this right here. Buddy, thank you so much. That Apple Watch, yeah, you wanna run that to me too?
Also, I think.
Yo, run us them keys too, babe. Don't grab that. Where's your patient?
You don't listen.
She's in here. No.
Ooh. A little funky in there. She looks good, this bitch look amazing.
Now keep this shit professional. Not
Watch out,
bitch.
watch out, Jerry. Watch
It's
out.
professional hoe.
Watch out.
Say it with me. Professional hoe. Professional hoe. Professional hoe. Okay, come on.
Get it together.
All right, let's go.
It's almost realistic.
Hello, girl. My name is. Oh shit! Oh, baby, this is good.
Yeah, good actors. Yeah.
We are here to rectify.
We here for the sex facility.
It's not.
But she faking, right? He don't know she faking. Right? You already took the money. Girl, you can stop acting. We're paid.
We already got the money.
Right.
Okay.
Don't push me
You
in
are
for
really
guessing.
good.
You scared
You are
me
really
now.
good, girl.
She scared me.
You are really good.
She scared
You
me.
are really good. For real. You are really. Girl, give me with her. You are really good. Okay.
Out for a minute because I'm low-key scared, bro. Like, she taking this too serious.
Real too seriously.
Like, it's not
It's
even
okay. You said something about a fart, girl. I got a fart too. My stomach is out here for real. Really. Crazy. Pass me the defibrillator.
She for real. And that's when I don't play.
You need to stop looking at me like that.
If we gotta try something.
Look at the stage. Since you want to be an actor today. Let's play. Let's act them on. Calm down. Stop. Okay. Now I come.
Preacher D. I think we might as well go ahead and come over here and act like we're doing something since the brother's staring at us right about now. Let's come over here and burn
Turn that
this
static off and put on some BET or something.
Put some bees.
Why I bring this devil out this girl. Okay?
D.
Yeah.
While I try to fix the TV, light the shade, do something.
Oh, yeah.
Come light the shade.
Bitch, it ain't been but 6 months. I done forgot. Hell,
You can't change the channel or nothing.
Is there a lighter?
I'm trying to...
Tablets, boy, give me a lighter. Shit.
Oh, shoot,
The
too.
devil. What is this?
Baby, that lighter don't work.
What is, hold up. Oh.
In the name, in the name, in the name, in the name.
The little shit.
Little light.
Baby, hold my fingernail. Hold that. Hold that.
Sorry, boss. Bro.
Oh, Lord. Wait. Wait, you see that?
Oh, shit.
You see
The
that?
fire.
You see that?
Yo.
Oh.
What is she doing?
Oh, my God.
She doing good.
Oh, no.
And that's how we get a demon out of the bitch. Oh, shit.
Hey, at least we got the money. Fuck that. At least we got the money.
We did get the
At
money.
least we got the money.
Money. Bitch, we got the money.
Money.
Bitch, we got the money.
Money.
Bitch, we got the money.
You are still tuned in to The Lowdown, and we thank you for that. Now, if you're watching us live, we shout you out. Give them a little love, Mike.
Hey, everybody at home. Hey.
Give us a comment, give us a like. Now, my next guest does a lot of different things. He's an actor, he's a producer, and he's a director, and we are happy to have him here today. Y'all give it up for Emmanuel Sims.
Yes. My man. Right there. Hey, brother.
Looking sharp, sir.
Welcome.
Twinkle, 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 twinkle. What's going on, man? See the shirt, please.
There you go.
Please, join me.
Absolutely.
Join
It's a pleasure
me, man.
to have
Thank you for
you.
being here.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Come on, pleasure's all mine.
Absolutely.
Now, I got to shout you out before we actually start the interview, man. Now, you were based out of Orlando for a minute, but you went back home and you went to Baltimore.
Absolutely.
All right, I shout that out because my son now lives there. He works for Johns Hopkins.
Okay,
Always
nice.
want to be a proud
Absolutely,
dad. Yeah, smart
Congratulations
kid.
to
Thank
him.
you.
Absolutely.
That is my retirement plan, Johns Hopkins. That's a good job right there, bro.
Absolutely.
Now, thank you for being here today. Now, I want to talk about all the different things you do first. Now, how did you get into acting, producing, and directing?
So,
both sides of the camera.
It honestly started when I was about 15 years old.
Okay.
My mom came home with this big TV camera from the house that they were going to throw away at her job. And I saw
Wait. Where did mom work?
My mom, actually, she was a psychiatric rehabilitation counselor. And people donated different things to the company.
Okay.
And someone had donated this big film camera, VHS type. She came home with it.
Now, a lot of kids are confused because you said VHS. They're like, what's that?
So that's the tape with the with the wine still in it.
Yeah, man.
So
there
we
you go.
actually, I've recorded over some Lion King movies. And I got in trouble for that.
Oh,
But
man, not the Lion King.
Well, you see, I didn't know what was going to happen.
Bro, everything the light touches. And your mama touched your behind.
You better believe
Yeah,
it.
man.
You better believe it.
Yeah.
So I got into it. I saw Black. You ever seen Jackass?
Yes.
So I saw that and I started imitating them with the cameras, and I went to school.
So you're doing crazy stunts with
Crazy
your friends
stunts,
and pranks and all that stuff.
Man, doing stuff that kids my age probably shouldn't be doing. Put the rack thing that you use for paper towels in my pants, and was walking around knocking stuff over.
Oh, bro.
Listen.
Bro, you gonna get arrested as a black dude doing stuff like that.
Luckily, I was in the house and I was safe.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So just having that opportunity to make content.
Gotcha.
I went to school one day and I didn't do my homework. Right.
Ah.
It was a physics project.
Dog ate it.
Listen, I pulled out the tape, played it. I'm on there. This is a little rude. I was taking a dump.
Yeah.
And I was explaining how pressure and force causes gravity to make things drop. And I got an A on my physics exam.
Wait a minute, bro. Wait a minute.
I got an A on my physics. I got an A on my physics project.
We gonna heal up, bring that comeback rewind.
Okay.
Listen to me. Bro, first off, we're gonna say you were using the restroom.
Using the restroom.
And you had taken a video of that.
Okay.
You forgot to do your physics homework, so instead of just saying, man, I'm gonna get a 0 for that day, you explained how pressure makes things work with gravity, and your teacher gave you an A.
He gave me an A. Not only did he do that, Mr. Padaway, God rest his soul, I love you, Mr. Padaway, he came to see me do my first stand-up set. And I never had that support from family.
Gotcha.
So having someone who not only didn't throw me a F for not,
but
also he supported, and I'm like, I can do this. If he fell for it, the world can fall for it.
I like the fact you used the word fell.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, bro, that's crazy. So that's how it started.
It started
so
there.
A series of crazy events. Your mom bringing home a camera. You're filming yourself doing inappropriate
things.
You forgetting to do your homework,
Yes.
and a teacher believing in you led to you becoming an actual filmmaker.
Absolutely. It was a blessed thing because it was a chain of events. It was the confidence that was built up over time.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, well, I can do it. My mom started believing. She bought me another camera.
Okay.
And I started making more content.
Gotcha.
And because I rapped, I didn't mention that part. I've been a rapper since I was 14,
Come
15.
on, bro. Talk about
And
it, man.
The rap opened doors for the filmmaking because I needed a camera guy.
That's right.
But I couldn't afford a camera guy. I'm 15.
Come on.
I
Come
don't
on,
got
bro.
a job.
I'm in the same predicament right now for my first mixtape, man.
Hey,
I don't believe it.
Listen, it'll pay off. Get you a camera. I set it up in the bathroom, in the mirror, in the medicine cabinet.
Oh, you in
and
the
I recorded
bathroom
my
again.
first
See,
video.
look at you. Yeah.
I spent a lot of time
In the
bathroom.
I got you.
So just having that opportunity to keep creating.
Honestly,
it
man.
put me on in the internet camp. I was born in '91, so
You grew up with the internet.
I grew up with the internet. So YouTube, I was like, okay, upload.
There you go.
It opened doors. MySpace, I started getting a heck of views. Like, people started noticing the music.
Yes.
And because you had videos to accompany the music, and I didn't realize how much all this stuff cost, even though I was doing it myself.
You were doing it all
So
ground rules?
people saw the value in it,
Yes.
and it just opened so many doors. I was able to get signed under the Gutter Music Recording Studios, and I got to work with Curtis Blow at 18.
Come on. Come on, man. Bruh.
I appreciate
Come on.
that.
And how old are you now?
I'm 32.
You 32, and now you get to work with James John and Tight Mike
Listen.
Randolph. Come on, man.
Hey, this is the dream come true. Hey, listen, I'm honored. Listen.
He sprung.
You know what?
But it's led to some pretty cool things, man. Like, you're working on a project right now.
Yes.
I definitely want to talk about. Tell us about it, man.
Okay, yeah, so I have a 10-film slate.
Okay.
And I wanted to produce 10 movies by the end of 2023.
That is aggressive.
It was, you know what, it was too aggressive. I kind of, now that I'm done, I can rest in this chair, but yo, it was hard.
10
films, short films. I did, some of them are proof of concepts for like children's shows. And it was almost impossible because I didn't have a job. So I raised all the money, grassroots style, like old school, nonprofit style, calling people, doing door to door.
Bro, you was doing car washes and bikinis?
I was close. I was close. You see, I had to. My fupa is not the most attractive thing. So
I
you
got
know,
it,
they don't like men in one piece, you know, bikinis. You know. So yeah, absolutely.
So you did it yourself?
Well, no, you can never do anything
Talk
yourself.
about it. Got it.
Oh, I love. I graduated. Well, let me just go back a little bit. I graduated from film school here in Florida. I went to Full Sail.
Shout out to Full Sail.
Yes, I got my master's, and what I learned through they taught us above the line work. It's everybody is important on a film set.
Talk about
From the guy who's painting, carpeting, dusting, makeup, every single person driving the truck
It's important.
is important.
Yes.
And they bring such a strong aspect, and I couldn't have done it without everyone.
I love it.
I said, okay, this is what I know how to do. I know how to make movies. We're gonna go from this step to this step for each of the films. I just followed the system.
Gotcha.
It already exists. In the past, I didn't know how to do it. But now I know how to do it, and I just follow the process.
And knowledge is power.
Knowledge
and
is
you have it now.
power.
Yes.
That's the game changer.
Bro, come on.
It's
Once
the
you got it, you can use it.
Listen, I got a book called I Got It, Why Not Use It. Make sure you check that out on Amazon.
I love
I didn't know I could do
smooth
that.
plug
My bad,
right
my
there.
bad. He started it. I just went along with it.
Now, you also have another book that I want to talk about, man,
Okay.
that you brought with you today,
I
man.
did,
Tell us
yes.
a little bit about that.
So, how to tame, can I use the F word?
No.
Okay.
F. Yeah.
How to Tame a F-Boy came about because when I was I did a lot of school, FYI. I was studying dual masters in mental health and rehab counseling.
I like that.
And I realized that I'm not an F-boy. I'm a GPSMF.
Okay.
I can't say that on TV either.
Okay, but
you
yeah, you know what I mean.
You know, I realized that I was a product of my environment.
Yes.
I was attempting not to be the guys who came and dated my mom and left and ran out. So I tried to stay in the relationships to be the man and try to do all these things. I had no idea what I was doing.
Gotcha.
I had
You want to learn from everybody else's mistakes and not repeat them.
that part.
Yes.
So I used to do things to try to avoid repeating those mistakes, but in fact, you do toxic stuff that was opposite. It's the same drama, same toxicity. It's just different. You're there and you causing the same damage as not being there.
Gotcha.
So I got a divorce. Long story short.
That's a long way to go. Look, man. So I got the look, I lost half of my.
Listen. So I'm out here trying to get it back. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. That's hilarious. And I actually got the books right here. I just want to show people what you're talking about. I love this though. How to Tame a F-Boy.
Yes.
Okay, absolutely, man. That makes so much sense, man.
It's a game changer.
Gotcha. And because what you're trying to do is help people avoid pain.
Absolutely.
Help people avoid mistakes. Because there's
Absolutely.
so many out there we can make.
Yes.
So many pitfalls, man.
Absolutely.
Now, I love everything that you do, man.
Okay.
Thank you for being there. I want people to follow you and support you like I
appreciate
am
that.
doing.
Thank you.
So can you please tell them your social media real quick?
Yes, so my name is Emmanuel Sims.
That's right.
And you can find me on all different social platforms, Emmanuel Sims, EmmanuelSims.com, and that's spelled with 2 M's in both names.
Gotcha.
EMMANUELSIMMS.
All 10 films are done this year. You
This
did it,
year,
you completed it.
yeah.
You bought a guide for all these people out here who are acting wrong, and you know why you lonely, because you act like this.
Absolutely.
Bro, I wish you nothing but continued success. Keep doing what you're doing,
Thank
man.
you so much. I
Now,
appreciate
because you're here, we don't want you to leave here and not have fun with us, so we got a little game we like to call 5 Questions. Now, Tight Mike has the questions. He gonna hit you with them. All we ask is you be honest. Hit him with it, Tight Mike.
I see y'all got y'all glasses on. I'm gonna put
But
mine
y'all don't do
on.
that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, brother, first question. And if all jobs paid exactly the same, what occupation would you choose?
So I would choose this occupation that I'm in now, film producing. And I'll tell you why. My mission is to assist the community to heal by teaching them to critically think. So in a producer's position, you can make every type of content. I make TikTok filters, I make GIFs, I make everything that I can think of, and I don't have to do them all myself. I can kind of delegate. So I would do this position right here
Because you want to help.
and it's aligned with my ministry.
There you
Absolutely.
go. I love that, man. You want to help
Absolutely.
folks, man.
James, how about you?
If every job paid the same?
Every job paid the same, what job would you do?
Unemployment. I would do that job.
I like that.
If they all pay the same, yeah, sign me up for that, bro.
I got you. Second question, Mr. Sims. When you're having a rough day, what do you do to cheer yourself up?
I pray.
You pray.
I pray.
He a good dude right here, man.
Hey, listen, but I didn't always pray. I just started back praying, so.
You honest.
Listen,
That's honest,
it's
bro.
honest.
Pray. Gotcha. Me, what I do when I have a
James, what do
bad
you do
day,
to cheer yourself up? When you
bro,
have a rough day?
I will find a good movie, get a blanket, and a pint of Haagen-Dazs.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
And I will, and I will it makes me feel better. I don't know about you.
And you watch the Hallmark Channel too?
Thank you. Lifetime or Hallmark,
Oh.
either one makes me feel better about myself. Man.
30 years.
30 years.
You're a good wife. Hey, question number 3. If you could go back in time and talk to your 10-year-old self, what would you tell you? What would you tell yourself?
It's a good question.
Real good question. I say, Emmanuel, you're worthy. And that successful people won't tell you that you can't do it.
Woo, that boy good.
That's very good. I like it.
All
James,
right.
what would you tell your 10-year-old self if you could go back in time?
I would honestly go back and tell my 10-year-old self that it's okay to express your feelings, not eat them. That's what I would tell. That's what I would tell.
Thank you, gentlemen, both for participating. Great answers, by the way.
Thank you.
Don't eat your feelings, James.
Yeah, right. Today I feel like 2 pepperoni pizzas is market.
You know what?
That's how I feel, man.
That's a lot.
But thank you so much, man, for being with us today. Emmanuel Sims, y'all give it up for him.
Yes.
Y'all definitely go out there and follow him. Now, anybody, real quick before we go, man, got a couple seconds. Anybody wanting to do what you do, man? Acting, directing, producing, author. What advice would you give them real quick?
I would say go for it, even if you're not good at it in the beginning. Nobody's good at anything at the beginning. Like, just go for it. Fall on your face and learn how to get back up. That's it, because I'm telling you, I got all types of disabilities. I'm on the spectrum. Everything that you can say is wrong with a young black man in America, I hit the bill, and I'm doing it. And I'm honored.
Nice. There you go.
Good job.
Thank y'all so much. Thank you. On behalf of myself and James John, my wonderful guest, Emmanuel Sims, and as always, tight, Mike Randolph.
Absolutely.
See y'all tomorrow. Great. Man, you killed that.
I appreciate that.
Ah.
Oh, thank you, brother. Welcome, everyone. I'm Emmanuel Sims, and I'm thrilled to have you here today. Here discussing a topic that's close to my heart, mental health. Just like our physical health, mental health is a cornerstone of our overall well-being. It shapes our thoughts, colors our emotions, and influences our relationships, and impact how we handle life challenges. So let's dive in and explore this crucial aspect of our lives together. Mental health refers to our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It's about how we think, feel, and act in our daily lives. Every one of us experiences a range of emotions, from the highs of happiness and excitement to the lows of sadness and anger. Recognizing and understanding these emotions is fundamental to maintaining a good mental health. It's okay to feel. What's important is how we respond to those feelings. Emotions are natural and essential parts of being human. They're like the colors of our life's canvas. Expressing our feelings and talk about them with trusted people can be incredibly healing. Whether you're feeling joyous, sorrowful, or angry, sharing your emotions help you process them better. It's like opening a valve to release built-up pressure. Remember, it's okay to feel, and it's okay to talk about those feelings. Identifying and expressing your feelings is a key component to mental health. It's about being honest with yourself and others. Talk to someone you trust, be it a friend or family member, maybe a counselor. Sometimes writing in a journal can also be a powerful way to express what you're feeling. It's a personal space where you can pour out your thoughts and emotion without any fear of judgment. Coping strategies are the methods we use to deal with stress and difficult emotions. Think of them as your mental health toolkit. These can include deep breathing exercises, physical activities, and talking to someone. You can even practice mindfulness, but find activities that help you relax and bring you joy, like hobbies or spending time in nature. Because it's about doing what works best for you to help you manage and reduce stress. Self-care is all about taking pro tips to maintaining your physical and mental health. It's not selfish, it's essential. Ensure you get enough sleep, eat nutritious foods, and stay active. Engage in activities you enjoy, whether it's reading, gardening, or listening to music. But don't you forget to take breaks when you need them. Self-care helps you recharge, maintain, and keep a healthy balance. So make sure you're taking care of yourself and putting yourself first, because you deserve it. Build supportive relationships. Supportive relationships are vital for mental health. Friends and family can provide comfort, advice, and a listening ear when times are tough. It's a two-way street. Be a good listener and offer support to others in return. Building a network of supportive relationships creates a supportive relationships that helps you navigate through life's ups and downs. It's perfectly okay to ask for help if you're struggling. In fact, it's a sign of strength. Talk to a trusted adult, such as a parent, teacher, or even a counselor. Seeking help is about taking control of your mental health and doing what's necessary to feel better. Remember, you don't have to go through this alone. There are people and resources ready to support you. And if you're in the state of Maryland, check out Phoenix Community Wellness. Treat everyone with kindness and respect, regardless of their mental health. Mental health conditions are common and can affect anyone. Avoid judgment, stigma, and stereotypes. Listen, treat everyone with kindness and respect, regardless of their mental health. Mental health conditions are common and can affect anyone. Avoid judgment and be supportive for those who may be struggling. Breaking down stigma starts with us. Let's create an environment where everyone feels safe to talk about their mental health without fear of judgment. Because it can affect you or me and you will never know when it's coming. Remember, prioritize your mental health just as you do your physical health. Use the strategies we've discussed to manage stress and emotions. And remember, it's okay to seek help and support each other. Thank you for being here today and taking a step towards better mental health. Let's continue to support and uplift one another. Together, we can build a healthier, more compassionate world. My name is Emmanuel Sims, and this is the Eudaimonia Project. Hello, and welcome to A Conversation with Emmanuel Sims, where we dive deep into film, mental health, and community activism. I am Emmanuel Sims. I am a director, a producer, and the founder of In Vivo Exposure, a production company that focuses on mental health in Black and Indigenous communities through film and television. Throughout this series, we'll be discussing intersections of mental health and the arts, exploring the power of storytelling to heal and inspire, and examining the ways of which we can use our platforms to affect positive change in our communities. As a mental health advocate and a creative, I believe that we all have the power to change the world around us. Through my work through film and television, I plan to shed light on the issues that we have in our communities and hope to inspire social justice and equality for all. So join me on this journey as we explore the power of storytelling to transform lives and make a difference in the world. Together, we can create a brighter and more inclusive future for us all. For me, I was inspired way before Good Grief was even thought of. So I started doing a master's program at the University of the District of Columbia. It was a dual master's in mental health and clinical rehabilitation counseling. And during that time, I think I've sought out the most mental health help that I could ever get because during the program, it's very important for counselors to go to counseling. So during that, I realized that I was very privileged to have access to these services. I realized that not everybody's gonna go to counseling. Not everybody's gonna, seek services. And when they do, sometimes it's already really, really bad or to the point where, medication and things like that can come in effect. And what I realized, it's just like a tooth, a rotten tooth. If you leave it too long, it can shut down your nerve systems. It can ruin your brain. It can do all types of different things like that. So it's the same with mental health. And I realized that if we were to treat things a lot sooner in our community by at least educating and teaching little techniques to us, to our people, that we will be able to actually prevent a lot of the extreme cases. And I say that because just me being aware that anxiety was real, I was able to go back to all of the times that I had a panic attack and said, oh yeah, I know why this was caused. I know what I could have did differently then, but I didn't have those tools now. So in Good Grief, I teach a grounding exercise. I went to film school after going to school for counseling. I said, okay, I'm not going to an office. I need to be able to teach in another different type of way. And I can tell stories visually. I wanted to be visual. So I went to film school, Full Sail. And during spring break, I said, it was like an itch that I had to scratch. I just needed to get this movie done. And I kind of felt like I portrayed the idea by making my thesis into a sci-fi film. And we'll talk about that later, the surprisingly interactive audio book. It's a sci-fi, it's the same as Good Grief, except it's a sci-fi. Same story, different genre. And I didn't really get the message across in that movie. The whole first screening was it was weird because my friends and classmates and colleagues and teachers were there, but it was dead silence, and I realized that the message wasn't clear. So I rushed to get Good Grief done in 2021 because I felt like I had to justify myself as an artist because I felt like I sold out for the VFX. You know what I mean? And I didn't really stick to my mission of teaching this grounding exercise. But I got lucky because during spring break, I was able to shoot this movie with some friends. We had a skeleton crew, literally whoever was available in Florida from film school, and we got together and we shot this movie. And it was important to tell this story because I wanted people to know how to do the grounding exercise. I wanted to teach how to bring ourselves back into the present moment. I wanted to educate what ruminating was. Watch this clip here. But for real, you should try grounding. You ever do that before?
Just thought about it.
Simple, man. It's the way you use your 5 senses to bring yourself back into reality. A lot of times we get lost in our head, and let me tell you this, ruminating thoughts hurt like hell.
Nah, man, you know black people don't be messing around with that meditation stuff.
It's not meditation. It's grounding. You don't even gotta close your eyes. If you don't trust me, at least trust yourself. So like I mentioned, I felt like I kind of sold out when it came to the surprisingly interactive audiobook. Although it was supposed to have the same sentiment, I didn't include the grounding exercise, which it was like, okay, it wasn't there. So when it came to Good Grief, which was the original story, before the surprisingly interactive audiobook came up, Good Grief was the original story, and the audiobook was originally in Good Grief. So in the original story, Omri would come home and he would be depressed and he would throw his bag on the table, which would alert the audiobook. When the audiobook was to come on, then Demi would show up, which was the character that I played in the original. And once he showed up, he would guide him by just being there. Now, in this new remaster, you hear the intro of Mindful Manny, Emmanuel Sims, you know, myself giving that audiobook introduction. You're listening to the audiobook, find yourself in a comfortable position. And in the first movie, we didn't kind of give that. It just showed him going through the ups and downs, the trauma of not having quality health insurance, which was giving him people who didn't really care or just looked at him as a number, rather than trying to, you know, be empathetic. They're like, hey, you know, we'll get some more out the cage next week. And he's like, you know, just he's already going through it. And it's like the people that's supposed to be helping him aren't helping. So it's like, I'm at the end, you know what I mean? And this is a true story based off my life. I was listening to audiobooks that saved my life. Shout out to Audible, let's do something. Because I was listening to audiobooks and that's what was helping me dig my mind out of the rut. That on top of all the mental health learnings that I had, you know, 63 credits in a master's program that I lost my mind at the end. I was seeking services. So when I say getting back into myself, getting back into my life, finding myself again, I really got to express how powerful the audiobooks was, but I kind of brought that vision back to life. That's what I wanted. And it's crazy how it worked out because I have an Audible with my different books that are available on Amazon under Emmanuel Sims. You can get audiobooks there. But I also have a mindful meditation that you can listen to on Spotify and iTunes. Yeah, just look up Mindful Manny's Mindful Meditation, and you can find that on Audible and Spotify. I'll put a link right here. So I use a little bit of that as, you know, sync my own stuff, of course. And I have the audiobook there. And there's this one part at the end of the movie, like, and I know it's my movie, but it gets me every time. I get to crying, I get to tears, because I can relate. Right? I can relate to I can relate to Omri. And it was that moment when I knew I was enough, that I knew everything was gonna be okay. And I just wanted to tell a story that just showed how a man on the edge can overcome, you know, even if he just used the tools that he has. And also, like I said, in the movie, I'm giving out the tools of grounding. So that's still there, but I really just wanted to add that audiobook piece, that missing piece that I felt real guilty for not putting it in there. The challenges that I face producing Good Grief, besides the financial situation, of course, one of my friends from Florida gave me $300 and rented me an Airbnb. Besides all the students that were in film school at the time were on spring break, I had about 7, 8 amazing people come and help me bring the movie to life. My roommate played as Armory, John Blanks. We're roommates, and he lived across the hall. We fought daily sometimes, but we worked it out, and we became friends, and we not like fought like physical. We roommate battle, like wash the dishes, like stuff like that. But he helped me bring my vision to life, and it meant so much to me. Taylor, she helped me just get organized. It was just having my friends there made the lack thereof better. Connor McDaniel was my first AD. Tiffany, Juliet, Maisha, I really appreciated her. She was so supportive. Like just having a team bring the dream together, like no matter what the hurdles were, I wanted to rush it to have it ready for a premiere at the Enzium, and it didn't even get screened. So I did I was like, I have impulse issues sometimes, and I'm working on it, but it's like I want to get things done when I want to get them done. And sometimes it's like, slow down and like take your time, and you can provide quality. And that's what I wanted to do with this director's cut. I wanted to really not just settle for completion, but get my complete vision across. So yes, in Vivo Exposure, we're focused on helping artists heal, helping the community heal by teaching them to critically think. That's our mission. We want to assist our community heal by teaching them how to critically think, by educating them on giving them these tools, basically breaking down mental health into conversational pieces so that everybody can benefit from it. So we create social media content in the form of TikToks, dance videos that are uplifting and motivating and just inspiring people to be themselves and go all out and be them. We have a Triggered series that we're working on and we're raising money for. So if you're interested in becoming an executive producer, we have, and it's just for this year. Next year, the price is going to multiply by 10, but you can get in now at $1,000 as an executive producer. Make that donation as soon as you can. Link in bio. You can make a $500 donation for associate producer. You can make a $250 donation for assistant producer. And if you're not ready to make those big donations yet, you can become a special thanks donor, and that's $50. So what we're doing is we're raising monies to shoot these projects. We have a lot of the equipment already, so it's not gonna cost us too much to get things done. And we have a very, very creative producer, myself. And yes, I know how to budget well. I don't budget to make money. I budget to put money in the film. And I know you're like, well, why is the movie gonna miss? My mission is to assist my community heal by teaching them to critically think. So if you can get with the mission and you can get with what I'm trying to do, let's work together. Let's help me help the community. I just know simple as that. Like some projects will make money, but majority of them is just educational content so that we can heal our community. And I think it's well needed, and I need your help because I can't do it without you. Yeah, so one of the stories that stick with me the most, really short, it's not gonna be a long story, is I cry every time I watch the end. And it's like not a funny story, but it's like, bro, you know what's gonna happen, and it gets me every single time. I know I mentioned it earlier, but it gets me every time because not only am I proud of the movie, I'm proud that I was alive to make the movie. Like, I remember trying to harm myself, and I didn't want to die. I just didn't want to be alive. And I had to really look at the scale and stop putting myself in that situation where I would test to see what I know that I didn't want. So just being able to see the movie come to life and for me to be alive to see it, for me to be alive to make it, I never thought I would be able to do that. And it's probably not like a story, but like, that's where those tears come from. The tears come from, I really survived, and so can you. You know, when you're in those moments and